that I may not want to do, but it's good to know that ahead of time. I just gotta be prepared that this could mess things up. Alright, I think those are the majority of the hotkeys all set. How are we looking so far? Let's get this started, I suppose. And if anything is missing, well, we'll find out the hard way. Is there honestly no hotkey for range setup? I see one for auto engagement, but I would have loved something for preset range. Let's get this started though. I may have bored people long enough as is. It just remains to be seen if I get some multiplayer in. But we're gonna have ourselves some fun, play around with some stuff, and ideally get these damn locked skills out of the way, damn it. I don't need locked skills in a multiplayer game. And from what I understand, multiplayer is the only way to actually get access to these skills, so that might be a bit of a pain, at least early on. It remains to be seen how quickly we're going to get these levels in though. But we're going to play around with a few stuff. If there's anyone that's interested in like specific nuances, I'll be happy to explain it. The idea, of course, and I was thinking maybe switching out these Dominators for Tyrants instead. Torpedoes are my thing. I like my torpedoes, and ideally, these are supposed to protect the apocalypse. And this is partially what I mean about the lock skills. The micro warp jump, I'm pretty certain is that level 9 skill right there, and I can't get it. And I kind of need it for my apocalypse. So we're gonna have to play with some other stuff. Auger probe. This is the mixed up, what is it, recon and auger probe now. They've kind of been fused together. It's still a skill shot, but if it ever hits a ship, it sticks to them now. So that's what that is. Disruption bomb. That could be useful. It's really hard to imagine what I would want with these limited skill sets. I want my micro warp jump, goddammit. Extended range without a doubt, since my apocalypse is kind of the flagship here. And what else do I want? With spurs. What do I have with spurs there? This is what the new power ram is for those who aren't aware of that. Basically, the spurs are technically a weapon now for like the Dominator or anything. Well, not really the Dominator, but basically all those torpedo cruisers that had that little spur underneath the prow. There's now actual value to it at this point. Actually, let me just demonstrate, since I kind of never pointed it out before. There's actually like a little buff modifier for the spurs. Apparently, 50% more damage to line ships and completely impale the poor frigate that you ram with this thing. It's now going to be a nice decoration on your ship if you were to ever hit something with this thing. So why not make that more powerful? I do have a Widowmaker. It will be fun to have a Widowmaker with a ridiculous sense of range. Probably very impractical when you consider the solid running and the scanner range doesn't get augmented by this. And apparently this icon, if I'm understanding, means I can't do 2v2 since I have no party member. Never mind the fact that my fleet's too big for 2v2. We'll see how this goes. I'm just hoping. I know there's people watching right now, I just worry that there's no one chatting since my Android's not updating with chat at the moment. Oh, we actually got a match there. Chances are I may be getting stream sniped. That's always a possibility, isn't it? It's a lot faster than I was expecting though. This is my first real foray into the multiplayer, and there has been a few crashes, so I'm a little bit worried we're going to encounter a few of those in this stream. Especially the first few days I had terrible crashing issues, it seems like. And we're facing off against Tau. And I don't expect this fleet to be incredibly optimized, it's just playing with the new stuff, especially that glorious battleship right there. I am so excited the potential the Apocalypse can bring to this, the Imperial fleet. This might be fun. I gotta be serious about the Tau, because those seeker missiles now ignore armor if I'm understanding correctly. They are a serious threat. They are potentially the most powerful torpedoes or missiles in the game, at least the ones with the charges. Which thankfully, I'm going to have 2 carrier fleets, or 2 carrier ships in the Dictator. You are a Tyrant, you are not my Dictator. Where are you, damn cursed thing? You're kind of blending in with my Tyrants at the moment. And what's the layout? Well, I got a really nice convenient layout here. I almost want to have my Dauntlesses kind of secure the right side. They're probably going to get pushed out if there's any real effort by my opponent, but I kind of get easy 2 points to kind of contest, and then we're going to be trying to fight for this 1 point here. And you're my Widowmaker. Alright, we'll see how this works out. And I also apologize in advance, I have been suffering from a serious cold the past few days. It hasn't been apparent for my videos because I've been heavily trying to edit that out. So we'll see after the medication starts to wear off if I'm going to be in a heavy coughing fit or not. There's no real symptoms at the moment, but it's incredibly itchy and irritating on the throat though. So it's really been the coughing itself that's been giving me issues, and it's really damn annoying. Otherwise, let's get this going.
Your orders?
The first real multiplayer match for me personally, and I don't know how many other of the streamers have been playing the multiplayer, but I'm itching to put them in their place somehow. Thank you very much for the comments there. Welcome to the stream. I was just paranoid maybe that my Android was not working properly. I had cases of that before, and it's probably the first time, well, there's been one like For Honor stream. I had a good number of viewers there, to be honest too. But I'm not used to having viewers on my stream. We'll see if I can handle my sudden rise to popularity, my sudden rise to fame. Otherwise, Apocalypse. Actually, I should be putting my damn orders in, since that gets rid of this. Since it prompts a cooldown, it's best to do that now rather than later. But with that said, do I? Nah, I can't shift queue, that's annoying. That's something I hope that gets fixed. Since I would rather have, like, orders available for my 2 support ships, my carrier ships. And with that said, we need to watch for fighters. I don't know anything about this player. I'm going to go in with the most serious mindset possible, though. Which apparently looks like... Do I have to worry about any stealth alloy? I'm pretty certain my opponent has no stealth alloy for Tau anymore. And I honestly didn't actually pay attention if this is the merchant fleet or the protector fleet. I'm going to be perfectly honest, I can't remember if this is the merchant or protector fleet. Which changes my strategy a little bit due to the armor difference. It's definitely going to be interesting. One trait I didn't mention with the Apocalypse. I mentioned before, like my preview videos about the tabletop game, the Lances originally are short range, but with the lock-on, they have incredible range potential, especially with the skill, or the Admiral skill I just took that increases the Lances even further. Oh god. Well, I am marked, mind you, so that may have been a mistake. But let's get in position, and I...
strategic area.
Oh, no.
The enemy
this is interesting. Is it... Do I seriously have no tactical cogitator anymore for multiplayer? This is something I'm completely oblivious to. That caught me completely off guard. Oh, and there is some kind of ship hidden over there, so yeah, silent run. So Dauntless says you keep your place there. And Tyrants are going to do their damage. Gotta be mindful of the focus fire though. This is likely going to occur on my Dauntless. If only a little bit. Also, let's see. I have fighters. Oh, I did launch like bombers, but I think the mark ran off. That's probably what happened. When you mark something with like either the frigates or any other skill that marks a target. Oh, and engine's gone, so I'm going to have to repair that and get this out of the way. Actually, yep, I saw this coming. Let's get... Oh, my fighters are kind of off, unavailable at the moment.
Setting course.
Alright, so let's shoot this thing down. That looks like a custodian. Let's be mindful of this. Yeah, it is a custodian.
Aye, Admiral.
Brace for impact. Take the hits. Remember, 3 charges, although because it is still a damn custodian. Oh, you're just going to shoot down my point defense, aren't you?
Brace for impact.
Alright. Let's try and hit the stuff. The Lances. I have Nova cannons, but is that going to be useful in this regard? Since I don't really want to... I would love to... If the Nova can actually destroy the dang seeker missiles, that would be great in this regard. I said they're kind of dangerous. Kill the Endeavor there. Where is my Dauntless and all that? Well, they're all ramming each other right now. And there is a frigate over there to be mindful of. I have torpedoes, so it's time to get this in aggressive range. Thankfully, the Lances aren't a huge issue, and supercharged void shield.
Your orders?
Let's soak this damage up. Oh, and you're a tyrant. First, when the hell did I get my dictator up in front, damn it? I was kind of assuming the roles were reversed a little bit. So there goes the range potential. Those are just fighters. They're not even bombers at the moment.
Aye, Admiral.
Gotta be mindful of that. Oh, I didn't even cap the point there at the start, didn't I?
Setting course.
So let's get these ships in here. Torpedoes are going to be really good, and the point defense should help. Yeah, they're just taking out these seeker missiles nice and effectively.
Aye, Admiral.
Can we at least dodge the seeker missiles, though? Since right now, I have no point defense on this Apocalypse, and I have no micro warp jump to conveniently dodge.
Burn
Engines
retros.
are down, though.
We wait your command.
Let's get in close.
Fury intercept
And here,
in
these
front.
are actual fighters. My opponent's not actually using the bombers just yet, so that's a
The
bit of a
enemy has
problem.
accumulated 25% of
Yeah, this is only a
strategic
frigate. I
points.
kind of wished I had kept these dauntlesses into the fray some.
Engaging engines.
We can outlast this some. We only lost an Endeavor, which has pretty bad armor.
Understood.
It was meant to kind of be the... Let's see, these are still fighters, right?
Aye, Admiral.
They look like fighters, but I wish I had a micro warp jump right about now.
Underway. Ship ready.
Yeah, it's just constantly getting swarmed. I gotta really watch for the dang fighters, though. Or the bombers. That's going to be scary.
All is lost.
Engines... Oh, the engines are permanently damaged now, so I'm not going to be able to contribute there just yet.
Changing course.
And I don't really want to fire torpedoes,
We wait your command.
because that's probably going to not work to my liking.
Damage teams, begin repairs now.
We have
You
lightning
have
strikes, but
seized
no
the
shields are
strategic
down yet.
area.
Get these dauntlesses and everything up here. We need company... We need support fast. The Apocalypse is still technically hitting.
Admiral.
Well, that's not true. It doesn't have lock on anymore.
Target. Maximum burn.
Just get the prow armor here. Soak the hits best you can.
Your command.
Yeah, we're just getting hammered by this quite significantly since the damage is getting spread, but... did my Widowmaker finally die? Still didn't get the 1 point back. It was good in theory. Oh, I burnt all my combustion gauge from the drastic turn.
Burn retros.
Now here comes the bombers finally.
Underway.
This is gonna hurt since I don't have any fighters to support it.
Ship ready.
And my dictator's still in a really bad spot, but
Understood.
its prow is still taking the hits so far. And I'm curious, does the adaptive deflector... Oh, you got the strobe field there, don't you?
Ship ready.
So that'll reduces accuracy if you're boosting.
Disengage.
Apocalypse still working good so far. I just need to do some permanent damage, that's the problem.
Orders.
Since I'm having a hard time distinguishing where my...
Enemy sighted.
Dang. Oh, your mutiny. And that's also my dictator too. And apparently won't let me
We wait your
cancel
command.
insubordination either.
Imperial escort destroyed.
Come on, get in here, guys. You probably won't get to do a whole lot now, but...
The enemy has seized a
And I don't
strategic
expect these
area.
torpedoes to do a whole lot either. But the bombers are getting negated quite a bit. Looks like one squadron is completely gone. It's just really felt right now on the Apocalypse. It's not long for this world just yet. If anything, it's probably going to die right now.
Impact. Aye, Admiral.
It's still alive. It's a mutinying.
Punishment for disobedience
So-
is death.
Let's fix that.
Enemy sighted. We serve.
The enemy has accumulated 50% of strategic points.
Yeah, bad placement of the fighters. I really need them to kind of save them for the fighters. Sure, my point defense got shot down, but
Underway.
once the Manta bombers get picked off by like the Defiant,
Acknowledged.
and speaking of which, here they come now. This is what the Dauntlesses were supposed to be doing. And also, which one increases... Okay, brace for impact increases defense turrets. That's kind of what I want.
Understood.
So shoot those down. I committed too many ships over on the side. That's a shame. I could have potentially definitely negate the bombers completely in that regard if I had brought the Dauntlesses over faster. I figured there was more than there was.
The enemy is seizing one of
Didn't
your
count the
strategic
points
areas.
properly,
Underway.
so it was definitely a rough first match.
Your orders?
And it seems like my opponent's doing the same old kind of strategy. They're just kiting all day. But once the bombers get weathered, once we can deal with them, because I think that's really what killed the Apocalypse, was almost strictly the bombers. Which would have gave the Apocalypse a lot more presence in that fight.
Engaging engines.
We'll give this another try. See if we can refine that a little bit. I want to make sure I can contest those areas, since that's one way I can get the lead if my opponent's just going to run away from me. Get at least 3 points and force him to commit. Since frigates aren't going to save him if I can see that maneuver coming, try and steal points from behind. Let's try it again. We'll go with good old Battlefleet this time, and we just unlocked short burn torpedoes. I like me some short burn torpedoes. Don't think I really care for the auger probe too terribly much, unless I want to place it somewhere that I don't want my opponent to be at, like on a objective. That would be the only use I see for this. But extended range on the Apocalypse, and I don't think I need the extended range on the auger array just yet. Let's give this another try, see if we can improve on it. Chances are it's probably going to be the same opponent. So we know what we're up against a little bit better. I just gotta make sure. What was my key to focus fire? I think it was the C key. So focus fire is going to be really damn important. I can't have my cruisers just hitting all the different ships at once. Especially if I can bring down that custodian or weather it down a lot quickly. No, never mind, we're fighting Drukhari. So something new. I have a Widowmaker, but that doesn't help when their shadow fields kind of hide in them. For those who aren't aware what the shadow field does, instead of a hollow field, once you fill up that technically hollow field like charge, your ships are completely concealed, including the battleships. I really wish I had Emperor's Taroff for this, since that was the other skill I was considering for the Apocalypse, since that reveals a ship for 30 seconds and marks them for the entire duration, maybe even a minute. And I don't need to tell you how important that is to deny at least the battleship from being able to conceal itself. So I need to unlock some of these skills. That would be really helpful. In Dictator, I have some real expectations for you. I don't know how many bombers we have to really deal with, mind you. So the Dictator and the Defiance are probably not as useful as I make it seem. But I want the Dauntless to kind of secure a point. Where do I want the Dauntlesses to be? This time I actually want them to be in the fight, so I need to pay attention to them quite significantly. And the Widowmaker is all but useless, almost. Almost. Since I need the sensor pulse and the additional scanner range doesn't help me in any regard. But we'll see if it can spot for me. And better yet, let's at least try to do his actual silent run this time. Since it's going to be off cooldown by the time I get to the point. But at least for the time being I can see them. So 3 ships over there, 1 on the far right. I should have been watching the main map right from the beginning, because assault right any light cruisers could have been very significant. Oh well. This beacon's gonna land on that point and it's gonna give me vision. I gotta be mindful of fighters or anything like that though. And I need to be ready for a pulse of some kind, actually. Let me get my orders set too, that's gonna be helpful.
Lock on target.
The Drukhari at least have a little bit less firepower. They have less firepower going for them in comparison. Wow. Alright. Maybe I should have launched those earlier. But hopefully, those do what they need to shoot down these torpedoes.
Course engaged.
And ideally, don't get hit by these, since that is a limited charge after all. Let's see how this goes.
Enemy sighted.
I'm hoping it's a limited charge anyway. The fighters, are they shooting down now? I am taking some damage. Very light damage so far. But I really want those fighters to do the same.
Enemy sighted.
So the lack of... Hold that thought there. I'm trying to concentrate. Let's see, there's only one ship on the right. We don't know what it is. I'm assuming it's a frigate. But I completely lost what I was going to say there.
We wait your command.
Damn it. I was going to say something. I forget what it was. The Apocalypse should get its attack run in, or at least get ready to start attacking because it's in range.
Underway.
But this looks like a less skilled opponent. We have 2 battleships, and let's see, torpedoes and torpedoes. Do I still have fighters? Yes, I still have fighters. Now let's just boost everything out.
All ahead, full.
My fighters aren't even necessary aside from maybe the Apocalypse. I keep thinking there's a tactical cogitator, and it keeps throwing me off. But let's see. Let's prioritize these things. That would help a ton in this regard. There we go.
Changing course.
That's an energy disruption bomb, so let's get out of the way there.
Ship ready.
Oh, and it looks like it's an actual battleship. Oh my god, did you seriously go all four battleships?
Engaging. Acquiring new vector.
I want to ram you, but you don't have the blades. That I'm fine with. The Drukhari have an upgrade that allow them to increase their ramming damage, so I'm really weary of that, but this looks like it's going to be very painful. Let me actually... Let's see, it's T, is it? No, apparently not. I thought the hotkey for firing torpedoes was T. So yeah, I missed out on a good opportunity there to do damage. That could have been really good. But we're doing a lot of damage. Oh, they immediately killed that. That's fine. The one battleship took amazing damage, though. Can we do more to this thing? No, not with my engines gone. Actually, just killed off all the ship. Alright, do I still have a frigate for spying? No, but I have fighters.
We serve.
Oh yeah, I do actually.
Fury interceptors.
So we'll get these Furies to kind of spot for us.
We serve.
We'll get this Endeavor,
Heading
or
acknowledged.
Defiant, to kind of grab the point up top. And I still have a beacon, so we'll just use this to deny them grabbing this point.
Your orders.
Now this
Understood.
Cobra is really damn valuable right now. And you are basically using the last of your torpedoes. Fighters are spying, but I don't think they're going to help too much with shooting down these torpedoes.
We wait your command.
Just grab the points. We'll have 3. I am behind quite a bit on points since I haven't really destroyed any of the Drukhari ships. Just going for the cutting strategy, it looks like.
Aye, Admiral. Enemy sighted.
Can we do the damage needed?
Underway.
Since I do have short burn torpedoes here.
We serve.
Now I'll force you to move. I don't expect it to realistically hit, but I'll force you to move.
Setting course. Your orders.
Now
Heading acknowledged.
I wish I had the Emperor's Terror right now. That would be really good for just constantly spying one of these things.
You have seized a strategic area. The enemy has seized a strategic
And my frigate
area.
still has its beacon, or no, its pulse is not available at the moment, so keep that hit then right now.
Burn retros.
The enemy
Ah,
has
Defiant, get back to grabbing the point.
25% of
I need to
strategic
rebind
points.
my hotkeys, or control groups. That'll be kind of useful in this regard.
Burn retros.
And just soak the damage.
Heading
Try and
acknowledged.
last until...
Changing course.
There we go. We could do some damage here. The Apocalypse can do notable worthwhile damage, and
Fury interceptors.
if the Furies can actually chase this thing, that'd be pretty good in this regard.
Engaging engines.
They are taking heavy damage right now.
Enemy sighted.
I sadly just have no way to really
Wait your command.
do the damage needed. Oh, and you're marked right now, aren't you?
Sighted.
That was a damn good ram, but isn't enough to do the damage. Can I at least kill one of these battleships?
We
If I
serve.
can kill this, that would be amazing. Let me actually focus this thing down, that'd be great. Oh, it's mutiny too, so that helps in that regard. I still have a beacon there.
Course engaged.
Alright, we're on the scoreboard now.
Enemy sighted.
My opponent still has the lead, but we're good for the time being.
We wait your command.
I just gotta spot these things.
Enemy sighted.
Yeah, we're in really good shape. We just gotta focus our targets accordingly. Not the most fleshed out strategy, I guess. It's a little bit rough for me, and my opponent is kind of relying on the Drukhari's like stealth ability, it seems like, and it has been a little annoying trying to do.
Coordinates acknowledged.
But so far, what was looking perilous is starting to turn around for me. I just gotta actually score a kill. Another kill at least. I don't honestly expect these Nova cannons to kind of do anything. But the boost at least gives me momentary vision, I suppose. Come on, I want to get crew back on this dang thing. Why won't you? Why can't I?
Strategic area.
You're supposed to be able to board the ship. Oh, and now I do after it explodes. That's inconvenient. Now I know where the Drukhari are. We still have 3 points, and I still have beacons. So I could play the slow game here. It's not exactly exciting, mind you, but we're in good shape. It's just probably going to be a little bit slow. Since they're more than likely going to go for this point, let's be honest. Ooh, we actually got fission, but that's the high health one. Oh, it's on. It has mutiny too. If only I could punish that. Actually, I could potentially punish it.
All ahead full.
Yeah, the hotkey was T. I did actually try changing it, but it doesn't seem to want to work here.
Enemy sighted.
I am really worried about what, since I can't really see what my opponent's doing until he shoots at me.
Burn retros.
And I'm not gonna have. Do I have a beacon up? No, I'm not gonna have a beacon up for a while. But this looks like it should be game for me. I just need more reliable fission, which again, Emperor's Tarot would be amazing for this. If you don't know what that ability is, it's basically the Inquisition's reveal ability that also reveals the enemy for 30 seconds for me. Come on, hit. 4 seconds on that, so let's try and time this out. There, those torpedoes should strike true this time. Since I haven't seen a false maneuver out of you at all. And you need to stand still if you want to avoid that, basically. Which is what I want. Because then my macro cannons can murder you. Enjoy. One more hit is all I need. Can I get the hit? One more time. Apocalypse, will you get the honors of killing this thing? Nope, the Tyrant's gonna get it. Denied. So we officially got the lead. Now, what the hell's my opponent gonna do? We still got potentially a mutiny ship over on the left that I have no idea about. I should reload. I think that reduces the skill cooldown some.
Ship ready.
And I still have... Oh yeah, I was wondering about this. I have... Apparently if your interceptors don't get destroyed, or at least your fighters in general, I think, then I get them refunded. It's what it's looking like, at least. That would be really damn convenient there. It allows me to get more vision. But where the hell am I going to find these dang things is the problem. Alright, I guess my opponent just conceded. Which is good, because... Safe to say my opponent could have just dragged that out and there'd be very little I could do about it. Yeah, it doesn't work when they're already visible. I think... If it's... I have to play with it, mind you, firsthand, but it's supposed to completely reveal them when you're able to target them. So the theory, I would have to check on the cooldown. The theory is you put it on what you think is the battleship at the very beginning, and if your reload can allow it to come back up before the turret falls off, then you could permanently have vision on a single ship, maybe. Maybe? Can you... I know in the July beta, I wasn't able to chain the Emperor's turret because the ship was already revealed. That's the only thing I don't like about that. I think it's like the level 5 skill though, so we're going to have to work towards that still. But we do have our stasis bomb. Not likely to be helpful in the Drukhari either, since we already seen their boost potential. But the point is I need a lot of vision if I'm going to try and fight the Drukhari. The one thing you may not have realized though, the Shadow Field does not actually protect them against lances. So the Apocalypse is like an amazing ship for trying to chip them down. I just again need that vision. which is why I want to kind of get more frigates in here. Play the Tau. I want to play the Tau at some point there. Without a doubt, I already have a fleet built up. But I don't think I'm going to play them yet. Or the real question is, do you want me to play the Merchant Fleet or Protector Fleet? That's the only thing I'm not sure about. Now, what will be the next fleet? I could go to Adeptus Mechanicus, but it's technically the same playstyle, isn't it? Chaos. Let's see, it's a lot of lances unless I want to go with lots of macro cannons. I'm really interested about the Shuriani. I'm a little bit weary of... Apparently the levels is for each separate faction, mind you. I kind of was expecting the level 2 and level 3 skills to be unlocked already. Ooh, Marines, there's an idea. They have... Their durability has been cranked up quite significantly there. So much so that even their points are kind of a little ridiculous. I don't think I want to use a battle barge with it costing 450 points. Especially when the Mark II is like almost 15 points more than what it was in Armada 1. And this is the strike cruise that I used in most of my Space Marine games. So I could get a pretty sizable fleet here. It just remains to be seen if they're impactful enough though. At least the Vanguard can kind of complement it now with this 270 degree bombardment cannon. Is it? Yeah, it's 270 degrees. Is it even the same range? That's something I never did check. Yeah, it's the same range. So that helps a lot there. They can be scouts, they can be harassers potentially. What do I want for a fleet? A battle barge would be a lot of fun, wouldn't it? I just don't like the point value for something so heavy. Especially since it is kind of short range base, isn't it? Only 9,000 units, which technically is the 6,000 units of Armada 1. And I like my torpedoes. We'll stick with this for now. Do I throw in our Vanguard though? I would like to throw in a couple of frigates. I like the Gladiuses a lot. And we kind of need it, kind of what I emphasized already. More recon pulses would be useful. Oh, you haven't seen Tyranids yet. Don't complain about the Imperial Navy having a ton of ships. Look at the Tyranids. Let me just save this fleet first. Although, to be fair, the Tyranids had... They technically had the Orcs custom points for a tabletop game, so they had a million different varieties you can get with them. Do I want all Gladiuses? It makes it simpler, so why the hell not? Don't quite have the points for anything else, so... Oh, I didn't even realize the points the Vanguard versus the Strike Cruiser. I should just seriously go with Strike Cruisers with how little points I have left. Yeah, I just upgrade to 2 more Strike Cruisers and I have just enough points. It sounds good in theory, but my Strike Cruisers don't have silent running, let alone the mobility. It isn't that much of a different mobility, mind you. Vanguards go 240 versus the 200 of the Strike Cruisers, but it could be impactful. What if... Let me show off the Tyranids there and their ridiculous display. Not only do they have... Oh, they actually fixed that bug, damn it. Not only did they have so many points, or so many different varieties, at one point, this little scroll bar actually covered up the, I think, the first digit here. I could be wrong though, or it could have been my game being messed up at the time. So all these Razor Fiends would look like they had like 16 points, 15 points. It was a little silly. Oh, you're the Imperial Navy player. Well, by all means enjoy. Now what was I doing again? Oh yeah, trying to be serious, wasn't I? With a fleet that's probably not going to work very well. Again, I would love to have the Emperor's Tarot. I would need to play with it a little bit to actually know how practical it is though. And without a doubt, extended range only works for the flagship. Don't know how practical that is considering my setup. Increased damage to shields though. Only 10%, but hull cauterization could be useful if I ever go up against Necrons. Assuming that text is accurate. Increased sensor range is the only thing I could think of unless I want to use asteroid belts, which is not a terrible idea. It's a little bit RNG trying to rely on asteroid belts to kind of take advantage of this though. I'm a little bit limited in my options though, what can I say? as far as affecting the entire fleet. I am really hoping for some new exciting stuff, since this is kind of on the forefront of new lore, a new timeline even, rather than being frozen in place, I suppose. I don't know if that's actually true with like the older codexes in the timeline for the tabletop itself. Oh, I was kind of preparing for Necrons. I kind of wish I had that now. That would have been useful. Now I lost my train of thought there, but we are now entering into a actual new timeline. I don't even know if the timeline actually changed at all before all the other editions of Warhammer 40k. I only heard about the joke of Abaddon just trying to siege Cadia for like forever, it seemed like. And now that that's finally at an end, we can potentially see something new. Strike cruisers could be amazing if my torpedoes can hit the Necron ship. That's the big thing. Let's see. Yeah, you will need a really well-balanced fleet, since I can't pick the upgrades when I know my opponent. If I had picked that upgrade ahead of time for the Necrons, that actually would have been useful for at least slowing down the regeneration. Do we actually have asteroid belts? No, we don't. I just picked the most useless skill in the game, or upgrade. The only asteroid belt I have is over for my Necron opponent to use. Unless well, there's always an argument to be made for me going over here at some point, since there's two objectives really close to it. It remains to be seen. Also, I think my exceptional troop efficiency, so I have better boarding potential than the Necrons. So I could kill off some of the crew. I don't know how likely that is, mind you. But I have the armor. I can weather the lightning arcs the best. Oh god. I hope my opponent doesn't know how to use the dispersed lightning arcs. That might be painful with so many ships clumped up. I may actually want to divide into two fleets, just because of that splash, or AoE. I'll talk more about what the Necrons could do in a moment, since they are drastically different to everything else. And my opponent's ready. Okay, I was wondering about that.
Give us purpose.
Let's get this going.
Underway.
So far, there's only, what, 4 ships? But if my opponent has the skill upgrade, well, 3 ships. What would this tell me? Again, I should be paying attention to this main map right at the beginning, since I can see everything my opponent has before he silent runs them. So I don't want to assume that this is our only adversary that looks like a heart shape. But that tells us a tomb ship, maybe even 2 tomb ships, and then whatever the third ship might be, which apparently... Okay, this has... I'm assuming this is the tomb ship here, since it's fallen behind. What would the other 2 be? There, that proves it. That's why I should have been looking at the main map.
We stand ready.
There is more ships around to be worried about. And a lot of our fighting is going to be over on this point here, in this area. And I should silent run for that matter too. Why am I looking at torpedoes? I don't want to look at the torpedoes. That really threw me off. Thinking I had the wrong squad selected. There, that's better. Okay, no, it didn't. Now I have these strike cruisers kind of bugging out. There we go. I gotta be mindful. I need to be ready to deal with whatever is going over on that side there. I want these strike cruisers at the ready to kind of at least isolate and maybe start conquering if possible.
You have seized a strategic area.
Okay, so there's a frigate over there without a doubt. Let's see if we can spot that. If I can spot it, maybe I can kill it. And I should have locked on earlier, to be fair. That would be kind of handy.
Repositioning.
The enemy
Let's spot it and start shooting it.
Area.
It's probably... It can't be a shroud. There we go.
At your command.
Let's at least get this point contested. And I don't have any fighters at the moment, so be ready for this. They're only scouting fighters, mind you, so they're not as exciting as they could be.
Halt! Advance!
Alright, start taking the point.
Give us purpose.
And let's see about fighting whatever is over on the right. It's probably just a frigate, which would be good.
Show us the
And that's the battle cruiser, is it? No, it's just a regular cruiser. Alright, we're good here.
Show us the enemy.
Start contesting the point. I am Mark, so let's watch the health on this thing. And boring torpedoes, I know what to do if you force a micro warp jump out of this thing.
Engines engage.
Turn, fire. Oh, dang it, I didn't want you to leave the point there. Or did you lose morale? No, you can't lose morale. You're Space Marines, for crying out loud.
Give us purpose.
I'm wondering what the hell happened there first.
Where shall we strike?
Anyways, we got another pulse there.
At your
Boring
command.
torpedoes. Let's try and start soaking the damage here. And also, ideally,
Initiate targeting protocol.
let's see. We can board this
I
thing.
am listening. That is impossible.
Alright, you can't do that for a while at
cause
least.
critical
But
damage.
doing hit and run, so long as I get this point, that's
We
fine.
stand ready.
I took a little bit of noteworthy damage though, so let's get this thing out of the way. Get behind the rest of the fleet.
Repositioning.
You still have most of your cannons of importance.
We stand ready.
And ideally, I would like to fire boring torpedoes, but I'm worried just hitting myself there some. Although that's not really a big threat, is it
Show
now?
us the enemy.
Moving to position.
Alright, let's start spreading out.
Moving
We
to
took
position.
notable damage there. Dang it.
Moving to position.
And we have nothing spotted just yet, although
Halt, advance.
let's try and get these frigates out of the way.
Boarding successful.
Oh, we are getting boarding attempts in. Is it enough?
Repositioning.
Not quite enough, and the frigate's right over there right now.
Boarding successful.
Where are my boring torpedoes going? Oh, right over there.
To where we
Okay,
are
I think
needed.
what I want to do... Oh. Oh yeah, Oh yeah, I forgot the lances ignore shields, so that's kind of what's going on there, is it? Let's get
I
in
am
there.
listening.
Gotta be mindful of another star pulse, mind you. That could suck a bit here.
All saboteurs and tech marine. Begin repair. Underway.
And I think I boosted out of the way.
Boarding caused critical damage.
Gotta cripple this thing well.
Repositioning.
I still have my brace for impact. Let's try. There's a star pulse cannon for you.
At your command.
The enemy
I didn't even get this point just yet.
25% of strategic points.
I did that wrong. I could still kill the boarding or the crew on the cairn. That would actually be pretty good in this regard. I need to change my priority some.
Show us the enemy.
Engines engage.
Kill the crew on the cairn. That's the plan.
All
especially-
power to engines.
Now that it's out of power.
Our wrath cannot be denied.
Okay, Drifting Hawk, that thing is completely useless until my opponent does something about it.
We stand ready.
Can I get more boring torpedoes in? Because it seems like my pathing is starting to bug out a bit.
I am listening.
I really do need to get my hotkeys figured out.
All course.
We stand ready.
Can we kill off the second scythe?
Our wrath cannot be
Almost.
denied.
Can we get another ability in on it?
Give us purpose.
Oh, never mind. He rearmed or
Your
recalled.
command.
Or was it called arms is what it's called.
I am listening.
Show us the enemy.
Do I brace for impact? I want to try and kill this thing off. Just do regular sporting assaults.
We stand ready.
Kill off the crew of the second ship.
Boarding successful.
Okay, 2 Drifting Hawks. If I only done that better to start off with, that would have been good for me.
We stand
It's really... I was gonna say, it would be really easy for me to just knock the crew out again.
You have accumulated
And just have it sitting
25%.
derelict right now. So... And my frigates
Engines
aren't...
engaged.
I want them defending. They're not really doing anything right now.
New vector acknowledged.
Now, dumbfire torpedoes.
I am listening.
Does that hit him? No, it did no damage at all, damn it. They're way too close. Torpedoes are kind of the main thing I need.
All power to it.
And once my opponent decides to use their inertial drive, I can punish that heavily.
Give us purpose.
But that had a lot of promise there. You're getting crew back on the dang tomb ship, but if I focus properly, that thing could have been a sitting duck, or at least the other ships could have been a sitting duck.
Moving to position.
Yeah, well. I gotta check. Does T actually work? Let me just
Enemy in
figure this out. That's been causing me a little issue there. Yeah, torpedoes are T. If for some reason it's not working.
Admiral's vessel destroyed.
Oh well. That was causing me a little bit issues there.
Right, wow.
I just gotta remember Shift T is for the boarding torpedoes. Select doors during deployment. I can't remember doing that. I don't think it let me when I tried it beforehand. Either way, that was kind of fun there. A little bit of fooling around. Again, I'm relying heavily on the boarding torpedoes to kind of do the work for me, and they actually would have been amazing. Well, not boarding torpedoes, the torpedoes in general. And like I said, they would have been amazing if I had done it a little bit better. Since the Necrons don't have any means to dodge the torpedoes, if I had did those attack runs after they blink away, sure. That maneuver to jump in there, do the Star Pulse cannon, then warp out seemed good in theory. It opens up a massive, massive counterattack. 6 strike cruisers with 6 torpedoes would have eviscerated that thing properly if I executed it right. Let's try one more to give the Space Marines a little more justice. Although, not having a hotkey work is a bit problematic. There's your inner orc now with that comment, huh? Killing the crew. Although I like to think, for flavor's sake, that the Space Marines are just killing essential components, since it doesn't seem to be their kind of thing to kill the crew. And that would be something that fits the Space Marines, just destroying essential components until the thing is just adrift in space completely. Alright, Kane, let's see what you're up to. Imperial Navy, Nova cannons can be really scary. I just gotta pay attention, I suppose. Ooh, we got ourselves a defense platform to help us in this battle. That would be kind of nice right now. And what? Well, really, the frigates couldn't have done a whole lot there. They did their job at denying the point from being stolen, at least. Since they could have handled any single Necron frigate that probably would have been down there, if I were to be so honest. I just wasn't doing a good job paying attention to them, with that said. Otherwise, this is the point we're going to be fighting for. And I almost want to have my frigates all together and then use the cruisers. Well, all but one frigate. Let's not kid ourselves. Assault run is still going to be annoying, and I want to be ready for that. Actually, let's group these up 2 by 2. Have these... Well, that's a weird formation. There we go. That's a little bit better. Oh, I can't actually set up orders, can I? Okay, I'm an idiot. Before, I don't recall being able to do that. Alright, I'm wrong in that regard. That helps a ton, I suppose. And it makes it difficult for me to see what the enemy count is.
Where shall we strike?
And I thought I grouped these up properly. I guess not.
To where we are needed.
Your group's 3. Get moving.
Underway.
And how many ships are we dealing with here? Just 5 so far that we can tell. And I want the one frigate at least to spot. Oh, I'm an idiot. I forgot my admiral skills, didn't I? Oh well. They weren't all that useful anyway, aside from maybe the recon beacon to try and spot stuff. I do need to be serious about the range, though. That could be a bit problematic. Where is it coming from? So the admiral ship's just straight up in the middle. So actually, let's just go this way. The frigate can get spot all I care, or for all I care, since it does have solid run. It's going to be hitting again. Can I? No, I'm not. I don't think I'm actually going to dodge that at all, because I turned. I misjudged that a tiny bit. So we know there's a frigate of some kind there. I would love to kind of steal this point from behind them, and ignore this one altogether. I just gotta
Purpose.
make sure the frigate's not doing the same
To
thing.
where we are needed.
So yeah, my zigzagging just cost me there a little bit, which can be problematic depending on the range of the weapons I'm dealing with
You
here,
have seized a
which,
strategic
considering the
area.
plasma macro batteries, that can be a bit problematic.
Give us purpose.
You go cap the point there, and we'll get ready for a
I'm
confrontation pretty soon. So fighters
Where
are on
should
the
we
loose,
strike?
or they're probably bombers, so
At your command.
let's get ready for that, and hopefully this frigate could just shoot
We
down the
stand
bombers. Assuming they are bombers anyway.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
You have seized a strategic
So we have another
area.
frigate or light cruiser over there. This is what I'm weary of.
Show
Is
us the
the
enemy.
frigate trying to steal the point from behind me?
We stand ready.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
Okay.
Halt! Advance!
I am listening.
I was hoping...
Full speed.
Okay, they all get out except the dang one.
Underway.
That was badly controlled there.
Show us the enemy.
I took a lot more damage than I would like there.
Tech Marine.
So that's
Calm
a,
the machines,
a brutal start, but it gives away what we're up against to
I'm
some
listening.
extent.
We stand ready.
Now we got Grand Cruiser there, and
Underway.
2 Grand Cruisers, and then like 3 Dominators, if I had to guess.
I am listening.
Repositioning.
So let's get in there and start damaging
Where
stuff.
shall we strike?
You know, ideally. Start pulsing, and
Where shall we strike?
let's see, it was you, was it, or I?
Prepare for
Damn it.
impact.
Hotkeys are not working at all, damn it. I can't even get my ores going, so that's a little bit unfortunate.
New vector acknowledged.
I was hoping to get my hotkey in there.
At your command.
I'm gonna have to double check. Are those my correct hotkeys? I was pressing the... Or... Oh no. I think it was. I was hitting my stances, that's what it was. Alright. I'll get this figured out at some point.
This purpose.
And actually I need my torpedoes going, otherwise I'm just
You have
wasting my
seized a
potential.
strategic area.
Show us the enemy.
Now get everything going in there. This may not be as effective as I like, and yeah, I'm ramming myself too.
Advance.
And my boring torpedoes aren't actually hitting either. Not just yet.
Our brothers have fallen.
That is impossible.
Now, like
In
the...
sight.
Yeah, sadly I cannot even hit that one ship, but that's losing a lot of crew at least. Can I finish it off, though?
Repositioning.
There's the one frigate that I was kind of weary of, but
I am listening.
I need to start killing ships.
Redirecting.
Otherwise, this is going to be a very short match.
Feel our might. Where shall we strike?
Do these torpedoes hit? Yep, we got... Nope, they're just getting shot down, never mind.
To where
They are
we
just getting shot
needed.
down abysmally.
Teleport attack successful.
Now, if only I had got the Drifting Hulk sooner, that might be pretty good for me.
Prepare for
Since
impact.
apparently 83 armor, when
Has accumulated
it's not a chance to just
25%
resist it
strategic
completely, it's not all that helpful. Or maybe my health is just too low, since after all, 1600 health, 2000 health on the Grand Cruisers. And letting myself get macro cannons is not a good start either.
I am listening. Underway.
All power to engine.
Get some protection in there, and deal with our dang other Grand Cruiser.
We stand ready.
I think my main problem is not utilizing the torpedoes to the best of their ability, but they're just getting shot down too.
Show us the enemy.
And
Repositioning.
wow, did that seriously just fly right through?
Where shall we strike?
Let's try it again. There, that's more like it.
Position.
As I said, I need to be a little... I need to play with the torpedoes in mind, since otherwise that's not helping me at all. I'm just doing myself a bit of a disservice right now.
Strategic points.
Gladiators are doing fine there.
I am listening. Repositioning.
I still have 3...
Initiate
Yeah, I still have
targeting
3
protocols.
strike cruisers all strong, and I have boring torpedoes to start utilizing. Let's try...
Give us purpose.
Yeah, let me... This is part of...
Escort craft destroyed.
Ooh, what just happened there? Didn't you have a lot more health? Oh, a void explosion? Really?
Prepare for impact.
I figured a void explosion would do a lot less damage, if I were to be so
Where
honest.
we are needed.
The
So I'm a little
enemy
bit
has
shocked that hit so hard.
accumulated 50% of strategic points.
Especially with full armor, with that said.
Engines engaged.
But yeah. I can kill the crew off pretty good, but boarding torpedoes? Yeah, I need to somehow cripple the ship, since they just got shut down immediately.
Underway.
These are not the Armada 1 torpedoes you're looking for.
We stand ready.
But with other abilities. Let's see. Let me at least get these hotkeys figured out. Let's see.
That is impossible.
That was... I'm trying to use these abilities. Let me just check these.
You have accumulated 50%.
Torpedoes are not
of
working. What about the other
strategic
skills? So those are stances, okay. Commands HJK, so that might have been why.
Tech Marines, calm the machine.
Alright.
spirits.
I'm gonna have to readjust these hotkeys some. That's probably a bit of a problem. I need to figure out those hotkeys a little bit better. Oh, it was an Oberon. Interesting. I almost assumed that was like a Emperor of some sort. Oh well. Let me fix up this hotkey issue. What? Since I am messing up horribly, my torpedoes just don't want to shoot though. That I can't help with. So stances, that's a lock on all that. And what did I have? Oh yeah, F and J, those were my boardings, so it helps if I remember that properly, damn it. Alright, let's try with the Tau this time around. Oh, I may have to look into the merchant fleet there, although I'm not really fond of the merchant fleet too terribly much, if I were to be so honest. Let's see. 3 protectors, 3 emissaries. I don't really want to run away from my opponent all day, and I don't even have the strong field, which reduces accuracy while I'm boosting. So, we can tell my opponents have been playing multiplayer for a bit at least, but I do like the potential of the target coordinator. This may make no sense to whoever... Yeah, this may make no sense if you don't know what it understands, but it basically makes the accuracy fall off similar to what Eldar was in Armada 1. It just makes it so you don't lose as much accuracy for the distance. So if one of my frigates has lock on, and they're within range of my capital ships, that could be pretty good. Otherwise, only for the flagship, that's a bit of a shame. Cruisers and... yeah, I'm really restricting my options. I could try for the Auger Disruption Probe, but that would be strictly maybe for like an admiral ship, or at least a flagship. So we'll give that a try at least, since I don't expect any of the other ships to be able to... yeah, they should be able to dodge it easily enough with 10 seconds to spare, with either burn retros or just turning it away. I just gotta be ready to capitalize on it if my opponent decides to boost and reveal themselves. We'll see what happens. Once it all starts to click, then we should have a good time. I just gotta figure out what's actually strong. I don't think an Apocalypse with the fleet's composition I had before was probably the most practical type of setup. Since I said before, I kind of need a micro warp jump to allow the Apocalypse to kind of be on its own to do the damage. And that micro warp jump's kind of ridiculous now. Unless it was changed, I think it can just teleport to any other ship, or at least to any other ship's sensor range, so I can almost teleport across the entire map if I have a ship there with vision. Drifting Hulk means there's no crew on the ship. It is completely inert, completely derelict. The player who owned the ship, though, can board it again to bring back up some of the crew, but that would also use up one of your boarding skills, which isn't a huge issue, but it makes it completely inactive. It can't do anything at all until your opponent decides to self-destruct it, which is probably what happened with that void explosion, if I were to be honest. When you scuttle it, it probably just explodes. That's something I have to pay attention to. Oh, I think my opponent's We're waiting for my opponent to load up anyway, that's all I know. Don't leave us in suspense. I'm worried that it's going to be stuck here hanging. Since my opponent may not have... My opponent may have crashed. Or it's taking forever for him to load. We'll give this a moment or two. If it'll even let me close the game, that's a bit of the concern I have right now. Let's see if it's just closed normally. Does not look like it. It says it's not responding, but I think it's probably on my opponent's end why it's not working. Alright, I just force closed the game. Let's try this again. It's going to be a little bit of relearning for me. Especially with the new mechanics and just getting a good feel for how durable things are. If I were to be serious, I kind of expected my Space Marines to last a little bit longer. Since after all, they have like, what is it, 83 armor? Even though the Brace for Impact wouldn't give it permanent immunity anymore to macro cannons, I figured they would have lasted a little bit longer. So, getting a feel for that is important, and the big flaw I probably had with going with that fleet composition is my macro cannons aren't really all that useful for strike cruisers. I'm relying almost entirely on the torpedoes to win the day for me. And apparently that was not a very good strategy since the point defense are actually pretty damn good at shooting down torpedoes now. Especially if you have Brace for Impact. Brace for Impact doubles the effectiveness of point defense is what I think it said. So there's a lot of things to get familiar with in that regard. Let's try this again. Oh yeah, well that's annoying. Switching sub-factions completely gets rid of the skills I had in mind. Not a huge issue, but I almost launched the game with no skills available. Not that it would have helped me all that much with the Space Marines, mind you. Yes, that'll be good. Get yourself a new PC, get to enjoy the glory that is the Armada 2. And I'm interested to see how the campaign holds up. If it's going to be Grand Strategy Light, that's going to be my dream. To an extent. Oh boy, orcs. Well, now I might be forced to run away all the time. Since I don't think I want to get close to them, especially since I never took the time to actually look at what the orcs' weaponry is. They got probably a bit of everything, if I were to be so honest. This could be fun. And I don't have the Strom field, and I don't even have, like, the boosters that even increases my turning radius and speed, which are, like, 2 upgrades that I can grab. So I'm not quite well suited for this. And I can't, let's see. So if my unit's stealthed, it gets increased accuracy fall off, which doesn't really matter. That only really matters if I can make good use of Salt Rain, really. And Monka, let's see, when a ship is marked, so when that's revealed by a frigate, mind you.
Monka,
so we'll go with that there.
Brings the enemies in.
It's going to be really tricky to use the Cao Young style, I imagine. And let's play really slow and passive and have a lot of light cruisers. That's what it really comes down to. Since light cruisers and frigates are like the only thing that can use the Salt Run ability. And actually, I kind of want the majority of my fleet on the left there. Or on the right, rather. Since that's where all the objectives are. And Demiurg D, you have no asteroid belts. Is that even how it works with you anymore? Where does it tell me on this cursed thing? Kind beam. Well, there's a lot of subtext that's not actually clarified just yet. It gets whatever. Staying near an asteroid belt or if there's wreckage. So much for my Demiurg being useful here. Nope, come on. My opponent's ready, so let's fix this up quickly. I don't think I want to actually capture points with this fleet, I just need to make sure that they're ready to do damage, since this is where most of the fighting is going to be. So let's be ready for that. And again, what the hell do I do with the Demiurge? I could not tell you. Since we have no staff alloy now for this thing. It could sit on a point, mind you. Since the orcs like to get close, and this is the closest thing I have to something that wants to welcome them with open arms. Oh, I didn't realize there was a force auto deployment there.
Surveying location.
And for some reason my profile here doesn't want to work very well. I'm not seeing the overlay of my ships.
Aircraft ready for orders.
So war spear fleets? Well, it'll be interesting to see.
To spread the greater good.
Oh, is that bug still in? Is that dang glitch still in play? My two protectors are so close together that they actually are messing with each other's movement again. Oh well, at least there's a convenient way to spread out the formation. I'm just gonna have to remember it, is the only catch.
Aircraft ready for orders.
And orcs, if I remember correctly, do not have silent running.
We serve the Kohatra.
So we're seeing everything they have to offer, and of course everything's over on the right here. It wouldn't surprise me if they have at least a single cruise over here to kind of brute force these 2 points.
As the ethereals wish.
I almost wonder if I want to hang back for a bit.
Lock on.
Just let them have the middle of the map and have them let that middle of the point and just punish them.
We serve the Korvacha.
Also, I don't think I want my sauces in the back, since secret missiles are kind of gonna hurt me, aren't they, when I start lobbing them. Also, let's separate these groups properly. 3, 4. Guys at group 5, let's hope you're able to contribute.
The patient hunter gets the prey.
Let's see how this works out.
Gravitic drive and
Gonna be a bit slow. They're all going the same speed, so we know they're all cruisers of some kind, which doesn't really help me in the slightest.
You have seized a
It would be
strategic
funny though
area.
if the Demiurge had access to Salt Run though. They don't need stealth alloy if they could just Salt Run though.
You have seized
Just
a
completely
strategic
obfuscate,
area.
get rid of the need
The enemy
for
has
them
seized a strategic
needing an
area.
upgrade. That way they can ambush all the ships they want, which in all honesty was probably where the Demiurge were strongest. Right now,
Brotherhood responding.
I don't know what that is, and it looks like a Novacan of some kind.
The enemy has
I'm just
seized
not
a
familiar with
strategic
this.
area.
Well, that is interesting. What the hell was that? I don't want to say that was the Commando Novacan, since it almost looked like a solar flare. Okay, so level 10 upgrades. Interesting. So my opponent does not have that, is what I'm learning.
At your orders.
If I can reveal this one ship, I can start harassing.
At your orders,
And I don't quite have Silent Run, which is fine. I'm actually intimidating my opponent with this. Just... Okay,
Honor the teachings
I am a little bit
of
confused what's going on here. I'm assuming this is a Novacan. Thankfully, the shields are kind of taking the hits. Thankfully. If it is Novacans, then my opponent's kind of burning all their charges a little bit.
At your orders, Koro.
So I can be thankful to an extent. Maybe.
drones have identified an enemy.
And I want to reveal these ships. Yeah, they're all cruisers, so...
The patient hunter gets the prey.
And we have them all revealed, too. So let's just get some defensive fighters. This is really weird looking ability. I don't know what the hell to make of this.
By my sept, we shall attack.
Now, the CT. Nope. It does not want to activate. I was hoping to fire seeker missiles and not working.
Mining ship underway.
So you got the skill for what is that? That's extra boarding, is it? I'm trying to figure out what the skill is.
Red light on all panels. Restore the Earthcraft's construction.
And right now,
Demiurge.
can we get the Demiurge in there? I don't really have cutting lasers, but at least I can fire torpedoes and do some damage.
Something to mine there.
You have seized a strategic area.
Weapons hot.
Fire everything there. Apparently I'm getting boarded by something too. So let's keep that in mind, whatever that is.
Mining ship underway. Protect the cargo.
Oh, was it the lightning strike doing that? Was that what was happening there?
That cannot be done.
All battleships right now. Kamikaze strategies. Well, this has been a stomp. It pays to kind of notice that ahead of time. Or at least reveal it ahead of time, rather. So maybe I should have got super aggressive with the spotting, since my opponent can't really do anything, perhaps, in that regard.
We serve the combat.
Yeah, let's see. It was just lightning strikes that killed off my crew, was it? Or was there another weapon I'm not aware of? I'm assuming it was lightning strikes, maybe. I wasn't paying all that much attention to it. Which probably cost me there, but otherwise, that's a lot of hit points I have to get through.
The Ethereals has been lost.
Without a doubt, I should have revealed them and just kite and get extreme range somehow. Since boosting isn't a huge issue, I was just completely thrown off by that dang Solar Flare Nova Can. What the hell is that? What the hell was that? I'm assuming it was a Nova Can. It was a really odd type of Nova Can, though, since it really was 3 Nova Cans in one. They are definitely battleships. There's a lot of hit points to them. So standing and fighting is not the right call. If I were to play that tactically, I would like to have some flanking Tau ships to kind of shoot at their side and potentially their rear, in all honesty, and play a incredibly slow game of cat and mouse. It may not have been the most exciting thing, but when you consider I can shoot their vulnerable rear or at least their side armor, that would have helped a ton. But again, I'm missing out on the speed upgrade skill. Well, not skill, but level 6 and level 8 I think is the air cast favors, or was it the upgrades that increase speed and turn my rotation speed. So that would have helped me a ton in that regard. Oh, there it is right there. So you can see how that could have been helpful there if I focus more on mobility. Reduces accuracy while I'm using my boosters. That's one part of the aircast favors upgrades. And the speed boost is somewhere in this mess as well. I could go really simple and just go with custodians, right? Although I don't think the bombers are going to work that well unless I'm an idiot too. I had fighters, didn't I? I had 3 protectors with fighters and I never launched them. Never mind, I had a Demiurge too, which in all honesty is probably not all that helpful. I'd rather just replace that with another protector. At least this gives me lots of fighters and lots of scouting potential. And potentially... I'll stick with that there. We'll try and play around with it some more. That was definitely a bad display, but we'll try one more. And I did have skills too, didn't I? There are so many things I did wrong there, isn't there? And I completely forgot about the lock-on effect, so... Not my proudest moment. Additional range could be useful. Everyone's just doing the simplest strategy, it seems like. Like after all, that Drukhari was like 4 battleships. Just relying on the shadow field to keep hitting, which would have been incredibly problematic to deal with if I had more frigates or at least better scouting tools. That would have helped a ton. Let's try this again though. And hopefully I can stop embarrassing myself to an extent. At least a little bit. It's nice to have quick cues at least. What is our opponent going to be this time around? Chaos, so lots of lances, and I don't have the repair drone just yet. To kind of help weather that a little bit. Which will only be a single... it would only be actually a single repair drone, so it'd be a little bit tricky to utilize, but I think scouting is really damn important. I think that much is obvious. I have at least a lot of railguns to kind of fight them at range. The Custodian doesn't really contribute the best on the railgun front in comparison to like all the protectors and sauces I have. I just gotta make sure I have vision for it to work. With that said, My opponent's not... Unless my opponent has a lot of close range like slaughters or anything with heavy macro cannons, I think I could just bully him off these 2 points here. And maybe I should just forfeit the 1 point on the right. So 3 frigates here. We'll have the 1 on the far right there to kind of spot. At least grab this point for the time being. Let me have the Sauces and Protectors all grouped accordingly. And I gotta remember, the pathing on this thing is atrocious, so I want to kind of spread them out too. And what is the range exactly on these things, the railgun? Alright, so 9,000 unit range, Armada 1 terms, so lock on boosts that up a tiny bit. Alright, and apparently I still have no visuals on my Protectors, which is really weird.
Montka, the killing blow brings the enemy's end.
Let's get this going. Oh, I didn't want you to silent run, but apparently you are silent run, which is good. That's good enough for me, I suppose, for the time being. Since I kind of want to hide my Sauces, since they actually... Do they actually have better railgun potential than my Protectors, since they have double railguns as opposed to single railguns of my Protectors? So concealing them actually be really damn good. And I gotta remember I have beacons. So let's at least reveal some of them. Although my opponent has the gas cloud and the asteroid belt, which doesn't really mean a whole lot yet. We have gas cloud here, we have gas cloud here, but I don't think we're going to be fighting anywhere near this for me to make use of it. If anything, my Chaos opponent might make use of this more, since again, I feel like I can bully him off the points, so long as the lance damage isn't so ridiculous that it threatens to kill my ships immediately.
You have seized a strategic area.
Let's see, and so far it's just a single frigate or light cruiser maybe hanging over there. And I don't know what my opponent's doing otherwise. Maybe I should have just launched the beacon in this gas cloud. That probably would have been good.
How may I serve the town?
Now grab the point
It will be so.
and keep an eye on if anything caps this or not. If no one actually captures that point, maybe I could just send my Castellan over there
Honor the
instead.
teachings of Yola.
That would be kind of fun. At least it gets rid of some of the pressure for
The
me.
ethereals guide us.
Now, it is a light cruiser capping a point. That should... I wonder if that... No, it stopped before it could stick on him. That would have been
At your
amazing.
orders, Koro.
Now, torpedoes? No. How do I activate these cursed thing? Aside from mouse clicking, I suppose. And you're just gonna assault run. This probably is a mistake. But at least it's only 2 seeker missiles. If my opponent doesn't see him coming, that's some free damage I can take advantage
Drones
of.
have identified an enemy target.
You have seized a strategic area. The enemy has seized a strategic
Alright,
area.
so this point hasn't been captured, so let's at least make our way over there for now.
How may I serve the Tauba?
Oh, the beacon's actually doing its work for me. That is a really damn valuable beacon. So I guess we're fighting a lower skilled player, maybe? It just means we're gonna have ourselves a real match, so I'm excited for this. I don't really want to do cheesy strategies, or at least the simplest of strategies. Let's genuinely try to figure out this game, shall we? Which means micromanaging these Tau ships to make full advantage of their range, since we're likely going to be doing a range fight.
We serve the Kovatra.
And with that said, we have seeker missiles, why not just unleash hell? Actually, I have a better idea. This is going to take 2 steps, but do you remember the strategy where you launch bombers with the seeker missiles? In this case, I'm really hoping these fighters can just tie up the point defense. So that way, it frees up the seeker missiles to do full damage. Right now my opponent's just committing kamikaze though, so this may not be as exciting as it might be. Well, I think we found one amazing strategy we can utilize with Tau. The fighters can distract the point defense while the seeker missiles go in and do their work. That was just 20 seeker missiles, and I think none of them got destroyed because of that. A little bit ridiculous damage. I feel bad for our adversary, since this is one of those moments you can easily say overpowered, isn't it?
We serve the Kovat.
But does my opponent actually have any carriers? We have an executioner. No actual carrier ships to combat that, so that probably could be something easily enough to help rectify that. That is, needless to say, absurd amount of damage. Just on the seeker missiles, which, keep in mind, that was hindered by armor before.
Shall attack.
Right now, not so much. And so far, we're doing well for ourselves. And where's my Castellan? Oh, they're up here just dealing with the cruiser.
Your orders, Colonel.
Alright.
The Ethereals has been lost.
They almost killed one of my cruisers at least, but
Systems taking heavy damage.
I wasn't even taking the brunt of their fire, mind you, so...
For Ornva, it
Although,
will be
for some reason it won't let me,
Accumulated 25%.
it won't let me, cause us a mutiny. So it won't let me get control of my fleet back, which is really weird. Is it only for the Admiral ship that allows me to cancel a mutiny if it ever breaks? Because right now, this ship, I can't get control of it back, and I don't know... Actually, that's not true. I have Rally.
serve the cause.
I gotta remember I have that. It's at least a way to get my ship back in line. Oh, my opponent does have a carrier. Too little too late, I'm afraid to say. This is almost decided already.
You have seized a
So
strategic
finish that off
area.
there. You're now the new Group 2. You're gonna help deal with our Grand Cruiser. And now I gotta get some
How may I
space.
serve the Taubar?
I need to clear some space so my Seeker missiles will not hit myself. That's always a big problem, of course, with Tau. It's with the Seeker missiles, since you don't really account for their trajectory the best.
Weapons hot.
Now, let's do this again. I only got one set of fighters, mind you, since I launched a bunch of
Cannot
fighters
be done,
already.
Toro.
Oh, wait. Why is my Seeker missiles not launching?
That cannot be done, Toro.
Is it because weapons are destroyed? What's going on
At your
here?
orders, Colonel.
I have Seeker missiles here. Wow, it just won't let me shoot. Okay, that's better. I think... Alright, my fighters are still there. This is gonna hurt. Goodbye, little executioner.
You have accumulated
Executor, rather.
50% of strategic points.
That thing is dead.
Gravitic drive engaged.
Seeker missiles are ridiculous. They have ridiculous
The
potential at
Ethereals
least.
guide us.
Although, I would have liked a little more finesse to try and micromanage that some, since the Tau do have amazing turn radius, turn speed, to kind of disengage, just not the best speed to actually keep distance. Okay. So apparently, my deck was also gone. Maybe that's why I couldn't cancel the mutiny. There's a lot that needs to be learned there. But I think we've seen the potential power there, good god. If only I had done that against the Orc fleet earlier. Sure, it's a lot of hit points, but at the same time, just reveal that thing really early. Reveal that fleet so early. Just distract them with all the fighters. Hell, I don't even need Manta Bombers for that, but it would give me additional damage if I time it right. What would be more valuable, I wonder, in that case? Would the Manta Bombers I want to keep alive or the Seeker Missiles? Does it say damage? 90 damage, so I would argue the Seeker Missiles are probably better. Since it doesn't want to give me the stats, let alone the damage potential of the Mantas. So maybe I'll just stick with the fighters, but damn. That is some beautiful potential there. You just gotta make sure you have the fighters or are ready to dodge those damn things. High energy turn is kind of a must unless we're aiming at a battleship. I just need to line up in a way so I'm not hitting myself. That's the big caveat there. It's really easy for me to hit myself with my own Seeker missiles if I do it wrong. And Stasis Bomb is going to be essential for keeping distance too. Let's do one more and then we'll switch to something else. But so far I'm thankful my dang cold hasn't been intruding in the stream too much. Since it's been a crazy coughing fit before, good god. Slowly but surely I'll figure it out. I generally want to try and figure this out as opposed to just doing the simple strategies. Which is why I don't want to take the Custodian, because it kind of edges on that end, doesn't it? With 6 bomber squadrons, 8 seeker missiles. Although, potentially, the seeker missiles are probably the new terrifying thing with Tau now, as opposed to the bombers. It's going to be figuring out a lot of how the point defense works in that regard. And we're facing off against Chaos again, so let's see about a real match, another match there. And my position is where I want to go is pretty straightforward. I don't even need to spread out my fleet this time around, thankfully. I can have a nice little death ball for this occasion. With the frigates kind of covering my flanks, Sauces, I don't know where the hell I want to put them, but the protectors can be out on front and contesting the center point, ideally. Where do I want my Sauces though? Probably over here, since my Chaos opponent's going to be more over on the right. At least that way it protects them. Their railguns could contribute. Again, gotta be mindful of the positioning.
The killing blow brings
Otherwise
the
my
enemy's
seeker
end.
missiles are going to be hitting myself. And my opponent's ready, so let's get this going. Actually, it's not running. Let's not forget about that. And that is you, is it? Nope, apparently not. My hotkeys aren't working again. Because I know T is for my torpedoes. That's going to be annoying if I can't get my hotkeys to work. That's kind of essential for such a big fleet, for managing it properly. Let me try.
Blast door sealed.
Okay, I accidentally... brace for impact, but you won't let me lock on, dang it. So much for that.
Targeting sensors lock.
Oh well, it's only a 2-minute cooldown, but I'm wondering why my brace for impact's working and not lock on.
Reserve the cover
It is my own custom hotkey, I suppose, so it's probably my own damn fault, isn't it?
Ready for orders.
And speaking of which, thanks for reminding me about the beacon. And apparently I was wrong. You're gonna just be ignoring these points altogether. Which I'm fine with. Let's just get the Sauces in a good position then. Since I don't
As the
mind...
ethereals wish.
Well, I'm wrong. I would like the protectors to avoid the beacon. It's gonna be really tricky to do. Actually, I'm gonna have to split them 2 by 2, aren't I?
You have seized a strategic area.
So let's try and do this properly. And there are frigates.
It will be so.
There are ships trying to grab these points,
The
so
enemy has seized a strategic
let's keep an eye
area.
on that.
At your
Get moving,
orders,
damn it. I accidentally burned retros with you. Get moving, get dodging,
As the
and we'll see about maybe actually hitting from multiple angles.
How may I serve?
Don't know how helpful it'll be, since if my opponent's going to be focusing on a single ship, this is probably going to be the death of me some. And this looks like it's going to get revealed, so we know which one's going to get focused down.
ready.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
Sauces, get moving. Get yourself in position. Actually, I think we may... Oh, it stopped completely. Oop, I apologize. Damn it. Never mind. It extended its range. That's something I didn't really consider with the damn beacon.
Ready for orders.
So all of them are revealed, so
Spread the
dodging that was kind of
greater
completely pointless, wasn't it now?
Correct.
And I want to spot for this hidden frigate, although I think it's smart for me to go for their point, in all honesty, since they have 2 points that I could probably steal from behind them. Oh, and I didn't even grab that point, did I?
May
Stupid me.
serve the Tauvar.
Strike the killing blow.
And you are just a basic cruiser. Yep, you're a slaughter, so let's see about doing damage to you.
You have seized
I gotta be
a
careful, I
strategic
am kind
area.
of isolated, but apparently we're just dealing with Grand Cruisers, so maybe this is not terrible yet.
Cover drive.
Now I just gotta remember how to deal with this.
Barracuda shows launch. The ethereals guide us.
Fire everything at this one slaughter. And also, let's get everything out of the way. Get the brace for impact going.
Targeting sensors lock on.
Let's see, can we at least kill the slaughter?
Honor the teachings
Apparently
of
not.
war.
And of course, the one problem I'm just realizing is my engagement range is probably not set to what I would want.
Aircraft ready for orders.
The slaughters are... Oh, you're a Carnage, so you're not as big a threat.
Teachings of the Honor.
And we have a stasis bomb, but you have a lot of lances, so this may not be as helpful as I make it sound. Alright, so let's just capture the points behind them. Probably doesn't... Actually, that's probably a bad idea. Since this battle's going to be over before the capture points even matter.
How may I serve?
Okay, let's get these separated. I got seeker missiles I need to start launching.
Gravitic drive engaged.
Now, we got ourselves a victim.
Barracuda shows launched.
Let's get the seeker missiles going and shoot it right up its ass.
How may I serve the tower?
One protector's about to die, so this is going to hurt some.
Gravitic drive engaged.
And it's also the flagship. That's a bit of a problem that I had not really considered too much. Oh, both of them are about to die, but
To spread the greater good.
we're going to trade an eye for an eye in this situation, I think.
Cast ready orders. Maneuvering thrusters engaged.
I could be trying to board a little bit there, but so long as this thing could take all the damage as much as possible, that'd be great. Even their flagships can be in a mutiny right now, so this is
The
good.
enemy has accumulated 25% of
Let's get
strategic
these in here.
points.
Oh,
Our
Alright.
flagship is gone.
we'll have ourselves a little bit of a frigate fight then, while we clean up the rest of this fleet. I do like the combo with the fighters mixed with the seeker missiles.
Ready.
It's just really tricky to do it in a swift and efficient manner when I'm not able to do my hotkeys. That's a bit of a problem there. Ooh, and they actually turn immediately. That's something I hadn't paid attention to. There's no, like, wind up or, like, a minimum distance that has to go first.
Strike the killing blow.
How are we doing on the fleet? I have at least 4 ships.
The cover draw.
Is my deck actually gone here? No, it looks like...
Aircast
I was trying to quickly check, see if the deck was actually gone, to see if it allowed me to
Hutide's teachings
at
guide
least
our
deal with the mutiny, but I wasn't seeing the option. I do see the execute option here, but it's a frigate.
We
There's a little bit of a difference there. Insignificance, at least. Let me launch fighters, let me start preparing this thing, priming this thing for death,
Gravitic drive
and actually turn off these focus targets so these things can actually turn for the seeker missiles.
at your
Yep,
orders.
this looks like it's a victory there. How's our frigate battle doing? Not very exciting.
May I serve the Tauba?
They are just shooting guns at each other.
Calculate
And dang it,
new
I want you to
vector.
shoot directly forward. Stop trying to turn, since I want
As the ethereal
to shoot seeker missiles. This has taken a lot more effort than I would like.
cover draw.
Which is where I kind of miss being able to set behavior ahead of time before battle, kind of like it was in the fleet preparation Armada 1. Since, as you can see, the engagement range is automatically set to the longest possible range, but
Orders, Koro.
what if I don't want to do that? In the case of like my tyrants or overlords, for as the perfect example, since they kind of still want to get in close in most cases. But I think this is game.
Target acquired.
All the ships are committing mutiny. I am curious, do they immediately warp out when they reach the border?
You have accumulated 50% of strategic
Let's see.
points.
Alright, it completely disengaged. I'm learning something new here. It's a bit of a slow process to just warping out, but... Did it? Does the mutiny never recover? That's what I'm wondering. Or does it require to rally? Or there's a lot I need to understand about that, if I were to be honest. Hey, what's going on with the chat there? Okay, oh, I missed out on a lot of the chat there. I was kind of enjoying the slugfest a little bit too much. But needless to say, I am really happy with the potential the fighters have, the synergy with the seeker missiles. It remains to be seen how practical that is when my opponent decides to start using their own fighters to kind of counteract it. But I like the potential a lot there. I have to play with the bomber some to see what kind of damage potential they do, mind you, but let's switch to something else. Tyranids. That is a tempting idea. I'm going to be honest, I have absolutely no idea what the Tyranids are capable of. So we are going in completely blind if I want to do this. So what kind of weaponry we should... Well, since we're talking about Tyranids, you know what strategy we should utilize. We should try to ram and eat everything. Massive claws for days, which apparently have negative modifiers. It does not sound like an appropriate weapon, does it now? I like the idea of playing with NIDs. Well, just do the stupidest strategy is probably not going to work, especially since I haven't really, again, had time to look at them. And feeder tentacles, what do? 1 troop damage every 3 seconds, so it's an activatable ability if I want to assume. So really, anything that's melee based is what we want. Feeder tendrils sound like the proper way to go. Massive claws, I think require me to ram? I'm not sure though. Speaking of which, do we have anything that's ramming based on this thing, on the Hive ship? Pyro acid. The closest I see is this one here, the biotentacles. We'll grab ourselves one of those, maybe 2, we'll see how the points line up. And from what I understand, let's see, no lightning strikes. 270-degree boarding potential, so that's going to be amazing. Spores, that's their point defense. For every 25 shields, so yeah. If the shields go down, I have no point defense is what the moral of this story is. And it does damage to enemies for every 100 points of shields. That sounds promising. I want at least some synergy. Since I have like feeder tentacles on here, if I'm going to melee anything, let's go with more feeder tentacles. And why not just go more boarding? Let's go completely over the top there. This thing has absolutely no weapons, the Infestation Devourer. It's just all about boarding and fighters. Can we find another one of the cruiser variants or even the light cruisers? Is there infestation? I think it's the word bio-infestation. That's not it. I was hoping there'd be another one. I was looking for the key phrase infestation, but I guess there isn't one. Not even any feeder tendrils if I'm looking at this properly. Ooh, we get torpedoes though. I suppose there's that, so screw the cruisers, we don't need them. They don't have what I want. Where's feeder tendrils? Oh, okay, apparently there are feeder tendrils, they're not showing them accurately. So what do you have? Feeder tendrils and pyro acid. Can we get more fighters with our feeder tendrils though? Go completely ridiculous. Let me just quickly look through everything. Since apparently the icon doesn't show the best. Boarding torpedoes and launch bays, I like that. We'll go with that. It's not feeder tendrils, but it's close enough. Now, we're pretty much max points, so maybe this is a little bit overkill. Biotentacles, infestation. Let's get rid of the biotentacle and get a couple frigates for good measure. Where's our Kraken? Our heavily armored Kraken, which probably is not doing us good. Probably not meant for this kind of setup unless they have feeder tentacles. No, you're a Vanguard. Where? There you are. Strangler Kraken. Perfect. If anything, this just means we have the perfect fleet for eating everything. Because you know that had to be what it's named. Let's see, it has an animation which is called... So they actually have an animation with the claws, apparently. Even if it doesn't do anything, it's just more for flavor. I think I'm tempted to just get the claws just to see that there. What was my favorite of the fleets? I think it was Behemoth. I like the color scheme at least. This is gonna go badly. Let's not kid ourselves. Do I even? Oh, I don't even have the ton grab ability, so I can't even pull ships into my Wayne arms. So that's a shame. Oh, never mind. I think. Oh, it knocks back ships. Well, that's counterintuitive. That's not what I want at all. Cursed thing. Nor do I need detection if I'm going to try melee. Morale, I guess that works. And Spore Field, which basically makes it a minefield. The ship is stealth as long as it doesn't move. Interesting. Interesting for ambushing, at least for the side points. I see a lot of potential in this for leaving a frigate on some of the sides, on the flanks, and just waiting for an enemy frigate to come to you, and then just devour them. Although this seems like a moot point considering what the Tyranids are bringing, if I were to be honest. All their ships are already concealed at the start. Acid Blood. As long as it has less than 50 health, ooh. So I can bleed all over them too, to make things even better. Well, I do have a Spore Field, so this kind of works. Gets a scanning range. Kind of pointless, but I like the synergy there. I don't know what I'm doing there, let's just hope this works. I like the idea of bleeding all over them to death. Yeah, the rush ram. I'm aware of the rush. More speed, more damage, simply put. Although, since I'm relying on the feeder tentacles and boarding, I really want to kill the troops as opposed to ram the ships to death. Oh, I'm really hoping your Khorne, you're true to your Khorne playstyle, which means lots of slaughters. This is going to be what we're looking for. Or is our Chaos player going to be boring and go with all lances? And as I said already, all our ships are concealed, which leaves our opponent incredibly guessing on where we're going to be. Although, with the objectives, they can make a few assumptions, so let's try and read what my opponent might think. And how many frigates do I have? 5. So simply put, I want at least one to kind of grab the points, just to give us a little bit of insurance if my opponent's going to hide from me all day. And then just group everything all together here. Frigates in the front, they're Kraken, so they got the armor to an extent. And what about let's see, Devour, Razor Fiends. I don't know how this is gonna go. And if I remember correctly, the bioship's supposed to have like some kind of synapse buff, is it? Oh, you're just straight up immune to asteroid belts. I'm trying to find it there. Spores, no, there it is. As long as an ally with synapse controls on the battlefield, the morale cannot be dropped below 100, so that I'm fine with. That was what I was curious about. So my ships will not panic so long as the hive ship's alive. And this is the slowest of them, right? No, it's actually they all go the same speed, so never mind that. Either way, I'm talking too much. Let's get this going, my opponent's waiting. Group 2, Group 3, and Group 4. Probably not the formation I would like, mind you, since I probably would have liked the frigates to kind of be in front to serve a little bit of point defense. Let's get the captain of points and see how this works. But yeah, the rush ability, I can make an immediate 180-degree turn and then rush them for ridiculous speed and ramming damage. I just gotta make sure I have the brace for impact available to kind of help alleviate a lot of that damage. Morale does not really matter for the brace for impact, though. Hell. Okay, my Krakens do go a little bit faster. Not much more faster, mind you. And we have a lot of gas clouds that doesn't really matter too much. So where's that going? Looks like my opponent's read correctly. It's not too hard to really guess where I'm going, though. I gotta be mindful this thing has, like, I think my opponent may be actually launching it right at this point here. So I may not be able to get that third point just yet.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
But speaking of which, I could just reveal it myself there to an extent. I just gotta remember I have those abilities. Let's see, that's the hooks. Hook tentacles, ooh, they all have hooks. Okay, never mind, I was worried that it was a skill. All my ships can grab them. It looks like I'm gonna get revealed. There's not much I could do. Seems like my hive ship at least is gonna get spotted. And if it stops ahead of time, it's gonna reveal all 3 of the ships. So that's unfortunate. And at least if it can avoid getting stuck, at least it's gonna be going after the ship with the highest health. Okay, so it's not gonna stop.
You have seized a strategic
That's fine there. So the cruisers are left hidden, and I could just leave the hive ship hanging back if needed. And let's see, Spore Field. I would like to get close enough to actually launch the Spore Field. How does it work? Oh, I could just launch it in the direction. It's like a beacon. Okay, I thought it was like a bomb or something I planted on the ground. Oh, it doesn't actually break stealth. Interesting. I kind of assumed it did, since that's what the Foystalker's Wraithbone shift kind of does. I believe it does, anyway. At least that's we seen it firsthand with my Drukhari opponent earlier, that it revealed him, at least briefly. He did have max shadow fields, but for like, just for the Eldari in general, that would be a bit of a problem. So we're gonna see if we can eat all this stuff. Wishful thinking, but we're gonna try and eat everything. And actually, rushing would be pretty important to get in there close. It is 40 seconds. We're gonna try and eat everything. Since there's no frigate in the way that I could tell. Do I have pulse? No, I don't actually have a pulse. And so far I'm taking the damage pretty good. I gotta focus my target though. What are we going after? Actually, let me just sit here and wait until the rush comes back off cooldown. And I do have torpedoes too. Okay, I'm identified. I take that back. Let's just eat everything. Eat all the things. Ow, I should have braced for impact. That was a horrible idea. That was a horrible idea. I forgot to brace for impact again, damn it. Oh, we could just immediately regenerate shields. Okay. Oh, I want boarding torpedoes. They just go in a straight line? I figured they actually would go straight. Regenerate shields? This thing's getting murdered in a hurry.
The enemy is seizing one of your strategic areas.
Not going very well just yet. I forgot I had boarding. 270-degree boarding. That could have been something I could have done a little bit better. Just boosting away. Boo, you are not a corn player. You are not a corn player at all. And I forgot to brace for impact, so that's kind of a mistake on my part. And I gotta remember I can actually board. That was something I've been failing to do beforehand. So the flagship should be about to die. We are killing some of the crew. And can we grapple? This is not going to go well, is it?
The enemy has accumulated 25%.
There we go. We killed a cruiser and it cost us pretty much our entire fleet. Now, let's see. I don't know if the spore thing actually hits my own ships, though. Can we board? Can we at least do damage we need to? Oh, that's the spore mine. At first I saw it was like a actual Novacan we were just launching. There, we have shields back on.
You have accumulated 20 points.
Yeah, this looks like it's over. Oh, I just hit the ding mic again. Our fun's done. I kind of forgot that we had the 270-degree boarding, because we could have killed off a couple of their ships there. It wasn't meant to be. Like I said, my opponent's not a true corn player. And this is not going to work very well. I probably could have braced for impact. That would have helped a ton there for my durability. Don't think it would have mattered too much otherwise. Oh yeah, I forgot about that fact. You're not supposed to ram. It just puts them right close, doesn't it? Maybe I should have gone with the huge claws. Clearly there was a lack of synergy there. Oh well. We'll try it again there. Ramming definitely sounds more fun though. But let me try that again without actually murdering my ships. That was probably a bit of a mistake. I just figured the torpedoes were actually like tracking. They were supposed to in the tabletop, so I'm surprised that they're just dumbfire torpedoes now. Which is a little bit interesting. Now it's a huge issue, I can easily get in there super close. I just gotta be good about timing the rush, so that way I'm not actually hitting them if I'm going to get in super close. But realistically, that'd probably be better for when they try and run away. Unless I have enough tentacles to kind of keep them at bay. And hell, these Krakens probably would be amazing for pulling ships. Since it doesn't really matter the size of the ship I sink, it just pulls them to me. I don't know if the size matters though. And what do we get here? Lictor blood. So it makes lightning, which acts as a lightning strike. Okay. And it applies to all light cruisers, which sadly will only have 2 of them. That's not a big deal. I still would have liked to bleed all over him, but he was kind of running away from me, so it doesn't help much. The chameleon skin might actually be useful. I could just hold position, get invisible, and if my opponent has no ships near me, then I basically get concealment for free, and then my opponent's gonna have to get back close to me. Although if they have a beacon, it doesn't really do me a whole lot of favors. Let's try it again. A little more seriously this time. Oh, it's escort only. I kind of forgot about that, I suppose. Stupid me. It won't actually let me cancel, which probably means we already found an opponent. Let's try this again. What opponent are we going to have this time? Is it going to be someone who's going to run away from me constantly or not? Time will tell. Come on, don't leave us in suspense. Whoever you are. If it's orcs, that would be a good day. Although, I don't quite have the firepower to just straight up fight them head on. Ooh, Tau. They're not very good at boarding. They're not very good at fighting on in close, so long as I do this right, I should be in for a good time. I just gotta remember the dang seeker missiles. Which thankfully I have a lot of fighters, so I can just use them to kind of like protect my ships, but I'm gonna have to wait until my ships are at least revealed or my opponent or at least until my opponent knows where I am. We'll see. Do I want to deploy in the middle, or do I want... I like the idea of just trying... There's always the realistic possibility of maybe getting stream snipe, so trying to think too much about it is not really going to help me much, is it? But I'm interested in trying to go grab the middle, and we'll see about flanking there at some point. We'll see how this goes. If anything, I like to go around and backstab them from behind if possible. While our Tau opponent goes for the middle point, well, really this is more on my side, isn't it? And apparently I can rush there, I just gotta be mindful my ships don't collide with each other, so that's gonna be a little irritating trying to remember. It actually helps cut down the downtime a little bit, though. I just, again, need to make sure I don't ram myself with this maneuver, since it requires me to position every single time. Space locusts for shields. Yep, it works out pretty well, and you can even see the effects to an extent on my ships right now. Although when the shields go down, I lose all my point defense. Holy crap! That's a lot of point defense. I suppose that makes sense to an extent. Oh, stop ramming each other. You're supposed to go cap the point. You're not doing your job very well. Or maybe I told you to go exactly where you were supposed to. Alright, so... Ooh, this is the merchant fleet. Lots of messengers, lots of frigates. But I don't want appetizers. I want the main course, damn it. Let's see, we got that point.
You have seized a strategic
Let's easily grab
area.
this. Let's not go too crazy with my rush, because I may need it at a moment's notice. So I think I'm fine waiting here. Well, not waiting here exactly, but waiting until we get some engagements. I want to go straight for the cruisers. And if the feeder tentacles stack, how close do I have to get, though? Yeah, for 18 seconds. That's kind of what threw me off a little bit. That was kind of like a weapon or something, or I had to do something. Since it seems like there's a limit to how much the feeder tentacles actually work. Which seems odd. It doesn't say a cooldown or anything besides that.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
I hope they don't ram themselves. That would kind of suck right now. And we'll just run off and keep hitting. We have 3 points. Well, we did have 3 points, and then I ruined it, didn't I? Stupid me. We'll wait until the juicy prey, the main course is... Well, I'm gonna have to deal with these soon, but that's kind of what the Krakens are for. They can deal with messengers. So I should not go too far away. Oh, it's an activatable skill, stupid me. Ah, never mind. I gave away my position. Time to go in full fury. So much for that fun, but at least we get to rush in there. Now just eat everything and kill off the troops, I guess. And there's a lot of railguns. Hopefully my Krakens can take the hits. And I gotta figure out the dang keys. I don't know what the actual hotkey is for these feeder tendrils. That's a bit of a problem here. I only know that what the keys for the torpedoes actually are, and that's not really helpful. But, oh, it puts cooldown on both of them. Alright, never mind. So using the feeders isn't all that helpful. Why can't I board? I know there's probably a heavy frame rate drop, mind you, but this is not at all what I want. So they can grab. Alright, so they're on separate cooldowns. Let's get in there close and start eating the ship. And ideally start boring the hell out of them. Let's see. I did have... There we go. At least I have hotkeys for that. Oh, jeez, that was fast. Oh, you have the experimental railgun, do you? Let's see if we can at least deal with this thing and at least get a couple boarding options in. If it'll let me board. Oh, it did board. Oh my god! Well, needless to say, Tyranids are really good at boarding. We just... A single ship and a couple of boarding torpedoes just made this thing a drifting hulk. Well, that just made my day. Considering I have almost literally no weapons, that was actually pretty damn effective. We just have to deal with the dang cruisers and everything. Oh well. We could just cheat. We got in-game hacks built with the Tyranids, so we could just board them right away. Board them with everything, and then Psychic Scream to force a mutiny.
25% of strategic points.
Now let's try.
The enemy has accumulated 25% of strategic points.
I think my ship's gonna die in a moment, but I want to wait and then fire ah, dang it! I fired torpedoes too soon. I want to rush and then fire torpedoes as I flew at them. So at least that way I could kill off the crew again. Although it's not all that helpful since if they just board to bring back up the crew, it's just like they're getting the crew back up for free, basically. So, let's see. Oh, the feeder potential is doing this thing. It has actually quite a bit of range on it. For some reason I thought you had to get close. Apparently I just have to connect. Is what it looks like. So, getting multiple drifting hulks at once is kind of important. There. I hope your secret missiles hit yourself. It would be the ultimate insult if that were to happen. Which it does not look like it will, sadly. But we are going to try and board this.
Strategic area.
Yep, I don't think I want to rush over there. And sadly, this thing is not doing much good on its own there with only a single feeder tentacle. If I had multiple frigates kind of using that at the same time, that'd be a different story. Seemed good in practice, not as effective as it actually is. We just gotta kill off all the crew, though. And just get this out of the way of the Manta Bombers, maybe? More drifting hulks, more drifting hulks, eat the crew! And sadly, it still looks like it's going to be a bit of a loss there. I think with them being able to easily lightning strike their ships and get basically free crew backup, I need to kind of immobilize multiples of them at the same time if I want it to truly work. Which, so far, we're getting really close to that point.
You have accumulated 50% of strategic
Although I just took an
points.
excessive amount of ramming damage. So maybe that's not all that helpful, but we're getting to eat everything, that's not terrible. I don't know if I can kill off all the crew with this one boarding. Okay, take that back. Oh, all but one capital? I take that back, all the capital ships are now derelicts. Aw, my high ship just died. If it stayed alive even with like a couple of hit points, it probably would have survived against all these messengers. Right now I have no way to beat the messengers. Since I don't actually have any boarding, I almost won.
75% of strategic
If only I
points.
had execute that a little bit better. Just kill off the crew of like 2 or all 3 of those capital ships at once. Then he would have no way to replenish the crew. Or he would have been incredibly... have a lot of work on hand. But that was fun. Don't know how practical it is though. Since I kind of need my hotkeys, I can't fire my torpedoes in. I don't actually know what my hotkeys were to kind of launch the abilities. Is that even anywhere on the key binding? Unless it's technical skills, that's the only thing I can think of. Since special orders, the commands. Oh wait, I have a bit of conflicting keybinds here, so maybe after the stream I'm going to have to look into that. See about getting my hotkeys figured out for the dang abilities, since that's going to be really damn important. So let's stick with something a little bit normal. Let's go back to my standard Imperial Navy fleet. As much as I like to play with the Apocalypse, let's see how much bigger of a fleet we actually have with like the Retribution and the Tyrants. Go with something more traditional, or at least what I'm familiar with. I just gotta remember to fire torpedoes manually, or I won't have the hotkey for it. Yeah, that was a little bit silly. Eating all the crew is definitely fun, although, without a doubt, ramming them with the big claws is kind of a lot more satisfying. I think that's safe to say. So, Tyrants, Dictators, I like some Dauntless for at least pushing out any frigates on the side. And how many would I have room for maybe another light cruiser? Or can I upgrade? And I don't really want a Gothic, but I want to check and see. 6 points for the damn Defiant. I don't know if I like having only... Here's a thought. Maybe instead of a Dictator, go with the Exorcist. Don't know how impactful it is, mind you, but at least it covers my bases a little bit. I just have less fighter charges. And what would be my third frigate, with that said? I like the swords. Let's try and upgrade. There, that's a little bit better. We'll see how this does. It's kind of what I'm familiar with. I'm just missing out still on some skills. So, Auger Probe. Supercharged Void Shield, we'll go with that. I just gotta make sure Retribution's taking all the flack for that to matter. And then what do we want? Shield regen. That's for all ships. I have a good amount of ships with spurs. We can go ridiculous rain, but I like my short burn. And I don't think I need that for... Well, I do have a single retribution. It certainly is an idea to give it extended range. And I don't think the shield regen is all that it's hyped up to be, but it could be useful for drawn out fights. Let's try this then. Emperor, Exorcist, Dictator, and 11 Falchions. That would be interesting. Definitely micro-intensive, but you would sure to win all the fights on the side, with the frigates trying to backdoor or steal, or at least trying to steal points from each other. You're kind of just committing to a long game, though. Oh, mirror match. With 12 factions, we have to get a damn mirror match. Oh well. Not much we can do about that. But at least I know what I'm up against, I suppose. We got that. There's our good old Retribution again. The Savior of Retribution, I forget what my Retribution was actually called in the campaign. Either way, I know what I'm doing. Let's just figure out what I'm going to do with my frigates. Since I am going to have a bit of a problem having... I would like 2 frigates to kind of stave off any of their frigates if... And I do have Dauntlesses, that's kind of what they were meant for, isn't it? But they seem appropriate for flanking on the right side. Then we have the Tyrants to kind of support the Retribution. Widowmaker for spotting. So we'll just have the 2 swords there. We'll see how this goes. And Exorcists to provide a little bit of bomber and torpedo support. And I gotta remember, assault running. That is something I'm gonna have to get used to. Actually, you're supposed to be group 3, just because it's a little more... What the hell? Well, this is silly. I'm holding down the right mouse button, but it's trying to rotate my deployment. It's really... Okay, now it's just getting a little bit stupid trying to do this. I don't know how I accidentally had my camera focus on the frigate, but that was a little silly. Alright, are we all set? Assault running, that's what I want. And I actually want the Widowmaker to be assault running. There we go.
Ship ready.
Let's get this going.
Coordinates acknowledged.
We have 6 ships all together. That kind of is to be expected. The question is, what kind of ships are they? I have beacons to find out. And with what I learned about the extended range of the beacons, this is a perfect spot. That should cover this little border edge here of this asteroid belt. So the beacon will see all for me. Here's hoping. Although that's kind of what the Widowmaker was for anyway, isn't it? So there's a tiny bit of redundancy here. And just for the sake of it, maybe I should just launch fighters, since apparently I do get refunded when their duration expires. So it doesn't hurt to have that on ahead of time, outside of giving my opponent some intel of what I'm actually using. So they know I have either an Emperor or an Exorcist of some kind. And there's a frigate up there.
Ship ready.
So that's not all you have. You're hiding something from me, and I don't like it. Although that's kind of what the 2 swords are supposed to help with. Gotta be mindful of Novacans, though.
You have seized a strategic area.
I should fixate almost entirely on my main fleet because of the potential of Novacans.
Understood.
Never mind the fact that a Widowmaker will likely be around at some point too. There, that should activate in a moment. There we go.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
Novacans, what did I tell you?
We wait your command.
So let's just spread out a tiny bit here.
Ship ready.
Get ready to cap that point, then we can start flanking them. It's 3 Novacans so far. So let's just spread out. At least that way, he's not hitting multiple ships.
Aye, Admiral.
My shields could take the hit. I'm fine with that. I wonder if it actually will kill my fighters, though. No, just keep taking the hits. I'm fine with that.
retros.
Burn out your charges. This might be painful though, which is why I have a backup.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
Burn retros.
So that was how many Novacans? A lot of Novacans is the answer.
Changing course. Engaging target.
So just get to ramming and start focusing on these things.
Burn retros.
Oh, and they actually capture the point. That's not nice. Jeez.
Engaging engines.
My shields are recharging nicely though, so we're in good shape so far. Burn all... Actually, fine. Just stand there and burn all your Novacans.
Burn retros.
I have 30 seconds left on my supercharged void shield.
Command.
Ooh, and we get ourselves a free Endeavor.
Acquiring new vector.
Is it Endeavor or Defiance? I don't honestly remember.
Ship ready.
I only know it's one of the new ships. Melted torpedoes hit hard.
Changing course.
That looks like a promising hit, although that may have been a mistake due to the easy convenience of my opponent repairing.
We wait your command. Understood.
Now let's just get to shielding my frigates.
Enemy sighted.
This should be a very easy fight once I draw my fire appropriately.
Burn retros.
There. I should win that fight. And
Aye,
just...
Admiral.
You know, that was a stupid idea.
Burn retros.
Although that may have been a little bit too early with that said.
You have seized a strategic area.
Engaging engines.
One more charge, buddy. Please burn it on me.
We wait your command.
I'm so happy with the value of that supercharged void shield, although that stasis bomb is a little annoying.
Seized a strategic area.
Although my shields are still up, I could take that plasma bomb hit. I'm hoping.
Ship ready.
I should be seriously trying to turn and fight, but at the same time, we just took out a light cruiser basically for
Course
free.
engaged.
So I don't think my play is that terrible just yet. I do need to start killing off some ships, though,
We serve.
because the close range firepower on these things is still pretty serious.
Coordinates acknowledged.
Actually, I'm going to do the same thing as before. I just launched a bunch of fighters for crying out loud.
Your orders.
Oh, this is perfectly timed. I feel so bad for you.
We serve.
Although, my Dominators are... My Tyrants are going to take a little bit of damage.
We wait your command. Burn retros.
So we got that point just fine. So now is the real fight.
Engaging engines.
Ooh, please fly into my torpedoes. I just gotta make sure they actually hit.
Underway.
So priority, let's board this thing, make it incapacitate.
Understood.
Really?
Ship ready.
Well, that seems like a flaw. I know I took hits from a damn Novacans for crying out loud, but that feels like that should not have happened.
Aye, Admiral.
I took morale damage from all those Novacan shots. Even though it feels like I should not have.
Maximum burn.
So that's a little unfortunate. It was going so damn well too.
You have accumulated 25%.
It's still not over yet, but it feels like
The enemy has accumulated
what was going so well,
strategic points.
it feels like
One of
I'm
our
being
ships is
robbed
gone,
a little
sir.
bit. Just a little bit. Now, torpedoes finish off the target.
Your
And all the while, let me get my dang dauntlesses in here. They're not actually doing anything right now.
For the Emperor.
Now, get in there and finish off the targets.
Possible, Admiral.
Actually, why am I trying to board something that's about to die? I don't know. That's something I'm going to have to remember. Is kind of like focus on 2 targets at once, essentially.
We serve.
No, you're not running away, you cursed thing.
Coordinates acknowledged.
Although I have no access to bombers just yet.
Impossible, Admiral.
Yeah, everything's about to die all of a sudden. Damn it. Maybe I was getting too cocky.
Your orders.
Since my torpedoes just got shot down.
Turn.
The fighter strategy was really damn good, though, with that said.
Accumulated 50% of strategic points.
Oh, that's a shame. My retribution kind of fell apart there.
All is lost. Setting course.
That's a shame. That's a real shame. I feel robbed to an extent.
Engaging.
Although, I would have to have used my fighters a little bit better, since it seems like my torpedoes were useless on their own.
Your orders?
So that's unfortunate. Bit of a learning experience, but
You have accumulated
otherwise, that
50%
was working out to be
strategic
amazing there. If only I had decided to launch fighters and start lobbing torpedoes back at them earlier, that would have been pretty good for me. Since my close range potential and the torpedoes would have been amazing there. I feel robbed. That's a shame. It had so much promise otherwise. Denying the Nova cannons there, which otherwise would have done so much damage to my retribution, let's not kid ourselves, so that was worth its weight in gold right there. Maybe I should have turned and be able to do more longer range fire, but at the same time all my ships were basically shooting at the one Endeavor that was on the flank there. It could have gone well. I feel like redemption needs to be made. What do we get? Oh, a mission dissipator? That could be useful for speeding up with the frigates. Is it what I need though? Probably not. All this really does is encourage me to speed up with my frigates. Maybe so they can flank sooner, since I did have my Dauntlesses on the flank. But then they get isolated and they don't get the support fire like what was happening with the Retribution and Tyrants kind of shooting down their adversary though. I like the potential though. Oh, dang it. What happened to my damn skills? Give me back my skills. Let's see. Supercharged Void Shield and the Auger Probe. It's almost 5 o'clock now, so at least 5 o'clock for me, so I'll probably have to hop off shortly. But that had a lot of potential. I was really happy with that otherwise, how that was playing out. Like I said, the very simple strategies are, it seems like a what's winning the day. My opponent just fired the Nova cannons just haphazardly and then gone forward the close range potential. Which, in all honesty, the Dominators did have better macro power than my fleet does, since mine have a couple more plasma macro batteries, especially with the Retribution, mind you. So they're a little less potent than the Dominators would have been. But still, I gotta figure out how to get the most out of the torpedoes again. I feel like maybe I should have gone with like 2 carriers instead of relying on the Exorcist, since only having a single carrier ship might be a liability. Since again, only 3 charges on the fighters. It'll take a little bit of learning figuring out, but it has promise. It just, the torpedoes obviously need some kind of combination with like fighters or something else to draw out the point defense. Where the hell do I want to put these Dauntlesses though? I almost could take the middle point. Well, never mind, I take that back. I want to keep a nice close formation, since we are dealing with Dark Eldar here. I almost was not paying attention to that fact. So is our opponent going to do the same thing as before, I wonder? As the last Drukhari we fought up against. One way to find out, let me actually group this up properly. So group 3, I think that's all of it. Keep a nice tight formation and try to keep vision. So these frigates are essential.
Aye, Admiral.
And using the beacon's gonna help a bit too. Not really as much as I make it sound though. Where can I even launch the beacon, to be honest? My opponent's just gonna try and dodge it.
We serve.
And I do have fighters that kind of protect from at least a angle. How am I going to reveal these?
Your orders?
In all honesty, I have to wait for my opponent to make the first move there.
Going silent.
Which is fine.
Ship
I should have run with them earlier. That was a bit of a mistake.
Strategic area.
Setting course.
And otherwise, I'm going to be relying on pulses.
Admiral.
And again, no Emperor's Tarot
Burn
just
retros.
yet.
Understood.
So for the most part, I'm just going to be sitting here and hanging back, and actually I could possibly engage whatever's on the left there. It was like only a single ship after all.
Interceptors in
Fire the Furies. See about deny, because I think I'm just going to lose out on point defense right here,
changing course.
which is going to hurt me in the long term. So I would like to try and get rid of them. It's interesting, it doesn't want to show me the hit points on them. I almost want to fire torpedoes haphazardly. That's not going to really do much, but it'll force my opponent off the point. At least I know my opponent's not going to go through this area, so if my opponent's going to attack at all, it's going to be down below.
We wait your command.
So maybe I can use the Widowmaker to an extent there.
We serve.
I
The
want to...
enemy has seized a strategic
Yeah, just seize the
area.
point, so that's probably not going to help me much.
Ship ready. Course engaged.
Okay, so there
The
is
enemy
a
has
light
seized
cruiser.
a strategic area.
Impossible, Admiral.
Oh, is that bug still in play? I can't lightning strike because of the shadow field still.
Coordinates acknowledged.
I hope that's not the case.
All ahead full. Understood.
Oh, now I can ram it, but too little too late there.
Course engaged.
That pulse yielded no effect, sadly, but
Aye, Admiral.
you are pretty much dead now. You just gave me a free kill, buddy. Since you should be marked. You should be instantly
You
dead.
have seized a strategic area.
That is annoying. The shadow field basically counts as though the ship has shields, is what that is. So I couldn't lightning strike at all, which is a little bit annoying. It seems like a bug.
We wait your command.
So let's see. Ooh, my fighters got expended. Or no, never mind, they're still out. I was wondering about that.
Aye, Admiral.
Although,
Changing
I'm going to be
course.
waiting for a bit. But I still have pulses. We're going to grab this third point,
We wait your command.
which may be short-lived. My opponent may try and steal that after a bit. And I might as well try and throw a beacon on there. And how's my point defense so far? I lost 2 point defense. So I am getting softened up for whatever my opponent has in mind.
We serve.
But my opponent's not going to try and engage me, as silly as it may
Course
seem.
engaged.
And I still have fighters, do I?
Serve.
Nope, they just got refunded, so let's launch them now.
Acknowledged.
Get rid of these torpedoes and start wasting its potential.
Orders.
And we do have a beacon to kind of help reveal. Actually,
Changing course.
with that said, I don't... Am I revealed? Yeah, I'm revealed.
Command.
Acquiring new vector.
Let's get in there and start marking.
Your orders.
Maximum burn. Ship ready.
Understood.
Alright, just fire and do damage.
Heading acknowledged.
I don't quite have armor, which is going to be a bit of a pain.
Course engaged.
But there goes my carrier ship for the most part.
Assault crews report success.
That is a lot of damage, though. That may have been made it worth it right now.
Targeting enemy vessel.
The mark's
You have seized a
the mark's
strategic
currently gone,
area.
though, so we're gonna have to be careful with this.
Understood. Aye, Admiral.
Yeah, that ship is all but dead. So there goes my
The
carrier
enemy
ship.
has accumulated 25% of strategic points.
But we did a lot of damage to one of the battleships. I just gotta reveal it now, which is the hard part.
Engaging engines. We wait your command.
Now, the Retribution should draw out the fire.
Burn retros.
If they're gonna go for another attack,
We wait your
let them
command.
focus on the Retribution.
Burn retros. Ship ready.
Now, how long do I have?
Coordinates
30
acknowledged.
seconds still, so
We serve.
still gonna take a while.
Setting course.
And apparently, so much for my beacon, so that's not gonna be helpful.
Accumulated 25% of strategic points.
Ship ready. Underway.
I need my Earth Gladius there, the kind of, not Gladius, but Earth
Heading
Frigate.
acknowledged.
We wait
Can I
your
soak up
command.
this damage some?
Underway. Burn retros.
Get this in here, mark them, and then we're golden to an extent.
Coordinates acknowledged.
Aye, Admiral.
This had good potential before. Not the case now.
Underway.
Enemy sighted.
Can we do the damage needed?
Course engaged.
I do have the means to mark them now.
Engaging engines.
Kill off the ships. Ideally.
We serve.
Heading
Alright,
acknowledged.
Dominators. Get in there. I may have been doing a bad job controlling you, but...
Damage teams, begin repairs now.
And maybe I shouldn't have fired a beacon on something that's about to die, but... I forgot my supercharged void shield too, so that's a bit of a mistake on my part. But so far, this is a slugfest.
Disengage. Disengage.
Understood.
Alright, call arms, get the rally up. This is looking good now.
Heading acknowledged.
If it's the last ship, we're in good shape. I just got to
Ship ready.
keep it in fission, which is easier said than
Changing
done.
course.
And I can't repair that, can I?
Execute high energy turn.
We serve.
Acquiring new vector.
The enemy has accumulated
Alright.
50% of strategic
I still have a
points.
frigate. I'm still sort of in good shape.
Aye, Admiral.
Understood.
Just reveal it and murder it.
Target locked in. Understood.
You're on all sorts of fire and you won't stop.
Brace for impact.
I tried to stop it, it wouldn't. It had a mind of its own. And it was probably the right call too, because we just damaged the engines.
Aye, Admiral.
Well, we won against Drukari. It was a tense match, but clearly these frigates are invaluable for this matchup. Since that played out really damn well and really damn tense. Potentially really damn boring, since I kinda am sitting waiting for my opponent to do something.
The battle is lost.
Ooh, but that was good to get a victory. And what seemed like a solid victory, since I kind of was floundering a little bit, figuring out all the other nuances. But I think that was the last match I'm going to do for today. My voice is starting to strain on me, and the last thing I need is for my voice to be getting sore after, with a cold no less. Especially if I want to try and do some more streaming tomorrow. So that is the plan there. Thank you everyone for tuning in to this mess. As I figure out, hopefully, multiplayer will be a lot more interesting. Especially when I stop fooling around with the Tyranids just trying to eat everything. Although that could have potential too with how quickly we destroyed the crew on most of these ships. Oh god. There's a lot of stuff we can do here. I'm excited for the days to come.